I think this is episode 9, I believe. Episode 8, episode 9. I believe this is episode 9. Hold on, let me do the thing. Episode 8.
Lucky number 9. Lucky.
Episode 8. Hold on, yeah, episode 8, which is what I'm working on right now.
I want to give you a heads up. I think
Episode 9.
there's a built-in screen recorder on Windows called Xbox Game Bar that
Yeah,
I use to
10.
screen record.
For your
I don't know if
Xbox,
you ever
right?
tried it.
I have not.
Yeah, it's called Xbox Game Bar. It's actually really good. It's like built in.
I can download it on my
I use it
laptop,
for all my
right?
videos.
I can download it on my laptop, right?
Yeah, if you have Windows, are you using Mac?
I do. Well, I have both.
Well, Windows, it works on Windows. If you have Windows 10 or 11, it works.
Yes, I have Windows 10. That's actually what I'm using right now to through this call.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is like if you have an Xbox controller, if you press the Xbox home button or you press Windows G, it will pop up and you can screen record. You can also do clips. So if you're playing NASCAR or whatever, you can have like a 30-second clip, stuff like that. You know, it's easy to use. It's not like OBS where it's a little too much.
And that's what you use for your videos nowadays?
Yeah, I actually, it was crazy. When I had my old PC, I used to get like audio delay. So like for example, like something would happen and then like I will say it like 10 seconds after it happened, even though that wasn't the case. So what happened was I had to change something in the settings of Windows, and I was able to get it all situated. But stuff like that is relatively easy. Like it's actually really good because it's like kind of built into Windows. But I think maybe you have to install it, but I don't know.
I'll see what I can do. But as of right now, the softwares that I use, all is good at the moment. But other than that, this is indeed the 10th episode. So let me redo the introduction.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's not even an intro. I was like, what the fuck?
Other than that,
I was like, what the fuck?
I may put this in the podcast anyway, just for stuffs and giggles.
Shits and giggles.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to lucky number 10. In other words, this is the 10th installment of Turn 4 Sparks Controversy. You may know Rowdy TJ, who was in my Daytona 500 documentaries, 2001, 2012, 2003, and 2004. Those are the 4 that he was in. And he was also...
Was I in the Budweiser shootout, actually? Was I in the Budweiser shootout?
Yes,
I think.
you were. Yes, you were. And the Pepsi Orange from 2001. You were in both as well. Pepsi Orange from 2001 and the 2012 Budweiser shootout that your man Kyle Busch won.
Oh, yeah. You know what was crazy? I always look back and like, because I remember like peak YouTube, like when I was growing up was like early 2010s. And that race, I think like the Budweiser shootout was on YouTube, like the full race. So I used to watch that a lot when I was a kid. So that race has a special place in my heart.
Same for me, because that was actually pretty sure that was my first time ever that I watched a NASCAR race from start to very end. From the pre-race ceremonies or the pre-race show to the post-race show. I watched the whole thing. The whole thing. Since that night, I became hooked into the sport ever since. A diehard fan ever since. For me, at least. I presume it's the same for you too? I watched the whole thing live, though. I don't know about you, though.
I do remember vividly watching it live on television. I was definitely the type of kid when I was really young to like watch NASCAR young. But I remember I used to watch like crash compilations on YouTube and like just documentaries and such like that when it was like all over the place on YouTube. And I remember I used to watch like NR 2003 crash compilations. I remember I used to watch like TNT Man's videos and stuff like that. So even before I even played the game, I used to watch like NASCAR gaming crash compilations and all this stuff when I was younger. And that really got me into the sport. But yeah, I'll probably say the race that I do remember watching full was probably the 2012 Budweiser shootout. And yeah, I guess I could say that race was probably the one that really hooked me in. But there was definitely probably races beforehand that I watched live. I just don't remember.
Such as, again, that is if you remember.
I can't really. I do remember. I mean, I do remember vividly. I know like after 2012. I mean, I watched the 2012 season hands down. I do remember that. I remember I watched like Kenseth getting thrown when Tony Stewart threw a helmet at Kenseth. I remember I used to, a lot of great moments from 2012. I always think that was a great year of NASCAR. I mean, 2011, I think I remember like Bush flipping off to the NASCAR, the guy, I don't know what they're called. You know what I'm talking about, where he flipped them off. Yeah, because he was speeding on pit road when Kyle Busch was Kyle Busch.
The fall race in 2010.
Yeah, that was 20. Well, on my defense, okay, 2010 and 2011's Kyle Busch primary cars were like the exact same, okay, and the cars were almost the exact same, except for like the spoiler and such that changed from 2010 to 2011.
The front, the front and the back. Well, mainly the front because to make it more aerodynamic. Because the gone was the rear wing, and back with the spoilers in 2010. Because of that, they had to change the front of the car, the front bumper to make it more aerodynamic for 2011 season. But even
what's crazy?
Kyle Busch's M&M's car was still relatively the same, somewhat.
Yeah, I remember because I see a lot of people don't like the COT car. I actually do. I actually like the 2008 through like early 2010s with the wing. I just think it looks cool.
Same.
I mean, but I generally think, but I grew up with the Gen 6 era. Obviously, I think everybody mostly did who grew up in the early 2000s watched it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great races that I watched when I was younger. I mean, 2013, I remember when they there's a video on YouTube, I think it's still up, of Kyle Busch showing off his 2013 paint scheme with the Gen 6 cars. I remember I used to watch like the Daytona Speed Weeks for the 2013 500, which was known to being one of the worst 500s of all time. And there's actually a rumor. I don't know if you agree or you believe in this, but do you believe that NASCAR was messing with like the pole position for the 500? Like, let's be real here. Danica Patrick won it in 2013. Jeff Gordon won it in his last season. Okay, and there's a couple other scenarios where the pole position for the 500, people say it's kind of rigged because of the fact that it's like there's so many coincidences for the last couple of years of the 500 where you see drivers like Patrick, because she was like trying to be one of the popular drivers and she was the first female driver to get pole and such. Do you believe that NASCAR kind of messed with the pole so you could see Danica Patrick on pole and Gordon on pole for the 500?
That's actually a good question. For me personally, if Danica Patrick was quicker than Jeff Gordon, then she was quicker than Jeff Gordon. Same time, the female fan, some to discuss, especially again, because Danica Patrick, she became the first female to win the pole position in the Daytona 500, no less. It gives, especially for those fans that are the same gender as her, something to discuss. At the same time, though, you can't overestimate and you can't deny the fact how her performance is on race day, though.
Yeah,
even when you get because you get the pole doesn't mean your performance is going to carry over into race day. And this is Danica Patrick we're talking about here. So race day, Danica Patrick is mediocre, to say the least. I'm sorry, Danica Patrick I think, but it's the truth. It's just a fact.
Well, I think everyone understands that. I mean, I think Danica Patrick, I think she was good for the sport, but again, she is just not good as a NASCAR driver than she was an IndyCar.
Exactly.
It's the way it is.
Yeah, she led a lap in the 500 or two in 2013, and she finished top 10 actually. But
yeah, it was her highest finish. I think it was her best finish ever, I think.
In the 500.
If I'm not mistaken.
Her best finish was 6th in 2014. I forget what race, but her best finish, from what I can concur, was 6th place. I had a friend tell me that a while back. But I
gotta admit, though,
if Danica Patrick was quicker than Jeff Gordon, then she earned the pole. Simple as that.
I still maybe, because let's be real here, like early 2000s and going to the 2010s, they had phantom cautions. It was obvious that NASCAR tried to make the race more entertaining, kind of screwed a couple of drivers from winning races. Let's be real here.
Most,
But
most notably, Kurt
like,
Busch, California, 2015.
oh yeah. Yep, and I think that was because, if I was mistaken, because he was going through controversy at the time with his wife
Yep.
or something like that.
Yes.
So they didn't want him to win because he was going through a lot of stuff. So they didn't want someone who was in controversy to win the race. They didn't want that, you know?
I had a friend on. You remember Bryce, who was also in the documentaries with you? Well,
Yeah, I probably do. Yeah.
he touched on this in one of the podcast recordings a while back. I forget what episode it was. I think it was episode 3. At the end of episode 3, we touched on the same issue.
I generally think though, like NASCAR definitely did something. Like they definitely fixed. I don't want to say fixed races, but they definitely mimicked some of the races just so they could either get the fans happy or to make the races more entertaining, or they just don't like that driver at the moment.
And Kurt Busch at that time was a controversial figure, especially what
Yeah, the
happened
Bush
with
brothers were.
even
Yeah.
Kyle Busch. Sorry to bring it up, but Kyle Busch too.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember I went to the Pocono race from 2016. That was the only NASCAR race I ever been to, but hopefully that would change. Yeah, when he wrecked, when he hit the wall, that was a sad day for me. But everyone was cheering, and I was like almost crying. I was like, no,
God.
why would this happen to me? I think Kurt won that race actually
So the spring
from
race.
Pocono.
So the spring.
Yeah, I think June. It was in June,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. It was in June
Kurt
when
Busch
that
won that one.
happened. Yeah, it was Pocono was an interesting track. I'm gonna be like, it's not. It's a good track. I mean, I remember that race because it was a rain delay beforehand, so we went on a Monday, and they didn't have any of the haulers, so it was kind of disappointing in a way. And also the fact that like you could only see like turns 1 and maybe turn 3, and you only see the front straightaway. It was a great experience, but like I would rather go to like Dover or Bristol because you can see the whole track. It's like going to your local racetrack, you know?
Exactly. Or even Nashville Fair, if they even bring that back, and if the people that live near the Nashville area will even accept that, which a lot of people don't. So I doubt it. But we'll see. You've heard of the Nashville Fairgrounds controversy, haven't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Is it like because if I'm not mistaken, I don't. Maybe I'm confused with another track that's local, but is it because like they race like too late and like the people because it's like in a residential area and it creates a lot of noise?
Yes.
Is it because of a noise complaint?
Yes. My question is, why the hell would you live nearby a racetrack and when it's active? That's my question.
Exactly. Exactly. You should expect that to happen. Like people need to use some common sense now. You know,
My point exactly.
like that is ridiculous.
One,
Like that is just ridiculous.
I remember watching a video 3 years ago. The Iceberg on YouTube pointed this out. This is going to sound completely preposterous, but there was a woman in this room with a group of people about the noise complaints with the Nashville Fairgrounds, and this woman, dead ass, said there were 5 Formula One tracks in the Nashville area or in the Tennessee area. I know that sounds preposterous, but that's literally what she said in a video that I watched 3 years ago.
Well, she should have used common sense and just not live there. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Like, who decides to be like, oh, I want to live in a nice area, you know, where it's nice and quiet, and you're like, oh, there's a racetrack nearby. Oh, they will listen on my conditions, you know.
And then next thing you know,
like, come
you hear
on.
noises late at night, and there's a race going on. What do you?
Yeah, and usually races end like that I know of. Maybe it's different for different series, but usually we end the latest. I think 11 o'clock, the latest. I mean, that's not that bad, but I can understand. But at the same time, don't live by a racetrack. Like,
Exactly.
use common sense, people.
Exactly. At the very latest, if you recall the 2012 Daytona 500, 2:30.
Oh yeah,
at 2:30, few hours past midnight. Well, the reason for
Well,
that
that's
is because Montoya crashed into the jet dryer, and we had a massive
yeah, Jet
fight
Dryer
with him.
Montoya.
Which he's coming at the time of this recording, August 5th, 2024. Montoya's coming back to the Cup Series for the first time in 10 years. His
I
last
miss him.
race was
Juan,
Indianapolis, 2014. Watkins
you
Glen,
know,
2024, that's going to change.
I always think of like when Clip Warrior. It was like a talk show, or where all the drivers were there, and this one like after him and Gordon had like their fight, and like Clip Warrior's like, he said like, oh Juan Pablo. Like every time I think of Juan Pablo Montoya, I just think of Clip Warrior go like Juan Pablo. He's someone I don't want to mess with. I'm
exactly.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be honest though with Boyer. I think that he is a great personality in NASCAR, but gosh, man, he's not the best on commentary. When he needs to be exciting, he is not excited. Like I remember when like Daytona, one of the races, and he just said, "Oh, they wrecked." Yeah. Like, who just says, "Oh, they wrecked"?
Bryce and I, we talked about this in I think episode 7. Yeah, was it episode 7 or episode 5? It was one of the 2 episodes. Bryce and I, we talked about this matter before because, yeah, to your point, when they wrecked in last year's 500, Clint Boyer just said, "Oh, he got turned," with no excitement whatsoever.
I mean, I get it's not supposed to. You don't want to be too excited for every little thing, and I get that. But when it's like, I think that was towards the end of the race too. It's like you got to be a little excited.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was the last lap too.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, he's a great personality, and I have a lot of respect for Clip Boyer, what he does for NASCAR. But come on, man. Like, that's not... I think he's actually not that bad. But at the same time, it's like, Like, we need DW back, but he's retired, so...
Yeah, I was about to say, because Tanner Waltrip, he's out the door. He's retired 5 years ago. Even so, I still miss him in the booth. Same time, when it's time to go, you got to go.
I understand. Huge respect for DW though.
Speaking of which,
like him, Mike Joy, and McReynolds are just the peak. Like they're the best. Fox Sports has not been the same since. We had Gordon, who was just God. I love Gordon, but gosh, he wasn't good on commentary. Danica Patrick, I think, was in Fox for a little bit.
Yes.
Oh God, that was not good. There was a couple others.
Tony Stewart.
Like, oh man. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I respect Kevin Harvick because at least Kevin Harvick, like, he's trying to fit in with the new generation of people. So he starts using a couple of slang words during his commentary, and I just think it's kind of funny coming from Harvick.
More so,
and I generally think Harvick
in the Gen Z.
Yeah, and I generally think that Harvick is actually over the last couple of years, because I'm a Cowboys fan, I wasn't saying I didn't like Kevin Harvick, but I wasn't a fan of him. I wasn't gonna cheer for him, but I wasn't gonna hate him because I did respect him. But the last couple of years, I remember I watched a documentary that came out a couple months ago about Harvick's career. It was pretty good, and I have a lot of respect for Harvick. He's one of my favorite drivers. He was just he's just a class act, he actually has personality not like some of the other drivers that we're currently racing right now. What is Justin Haley's personality? I like Justin Haley, don't get me wrong, but a couple of in the field just have no personality. They're just kind of hey, we had a good car today, or if they're mad, they'll be like, oh, we got turned. We'll get him next time, and they never get him. It's some of these drivers need to have a personality. Maybe go into wrestling, get a new ego. Come up with a gimmick. Because right now we have a lot of drivers in the field that are just kind of with their personality. When they're racing, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Byron, he's great, but some of these drivers need some personality, what happened to the Tony Stewarts, the Boyers, the Harvicks, the Jeff Gordons, the Johnson, the Kyles, and Kyle Busch, and Kyle Petty even, what happened?
The Earnhardts.
Nobody can, have that bond with drivers anymore because Chastain, he has personality. Well, I think his personality got even better after the Hail Melon. But there's only a few drivers that are that are like new generation. Like Larson, I guess, has personality. Chase Elliott, people love or hate him. Like people can't stand Elliott, which oh god.
More so, his fan
But
base will be quick to call those out who disagree or don't like Chase Elliott.
yeah, and people call him Mickey Mouse. I generally think that Chase Elliott is a great driver. Like he's actually one of the best. Him and Larson are just, they're like the new generations, like Earnhardt and Gordon, which I know a lot of people are going to get me for. But
I actually know someone who is a
yeah.
huge Chase Elliott fan, and I believe touched on him. I believe touched on Chase Elliott briefly in episode 9 on this podcast, so the latest episode. But other than that, Chase Elliott, in my humble opinion, he is a great driver and is a driver for the sport, and
I agree.
lives up to the Elliott legacy because his father Bill was in NASCAR when it was called the Winston Cup at the time, and won the Winston Cup championship in 1988. Chase Elliott, also a Cup Series champion in 2020, and both of them won it in the number 9. So
which I think is really cool.
There's a family legacy there. There's a family legacy there with the Elliots.
And I think a lot of people don't like Chase because of his background. Like some people don't like him because of his background, because he was kind of brought into racing because of his father, where he wasn't going to be as popular because of his father. This was like the same thing with Junior. Like people say if Earnhardt wasn't really a thing or he wasn't that good, Junior would probably not, be as popular, which I agree to an extent. But I really do think that, like, when you have drivers like Junior and Elliott and all those guys that bring new people in, I think it's a positive.
Such as, well, what is your point as far as Elliott and Earnhardt Jr. is concerned?
Well, as you know, like Elliott and Junior are like Junior, this was like 10 years ago, but like Chase Elliott and Junior are the most popular NASCAR drivers of the last 20 years. Gordon was like the 90s, Junior was the 2000s, 2010s. Chase Elliott is now the most popular driver. And if NASCAR needs publicity, either good or bad publicity. Let's be real here. They got a lot of publicity after Ricky Stenhouse punched my boy. Chase and Junior are good for the sport because they bring people in. Because every time there's something that is anything news related that is just about the sport itself, and they have a picture of NASCAR, you will definitely see Chase Elliott over there. Like you will see Chase, you will see Larson, a couple other guys. When NASCAR, thankfully, they do have drivers like that have future generations, and some people that grew up in the 80s and watched NASCAR could go back and watch NASCAR and be like, hey, that's Bill Elliott's son. I'll root for him, and then they start watching it. And that's the same with Junior. They probably watch Earnhardt and like, oh, but this is his son. I'll root for him, and that's basically what I was coming at.
Fun fact for those who haven't already: Dale Earnhardt Jr., diehard fan of him. Huge fan.
Now I heard from it. I was watching a couple of your. I was going bits and pieces of a couple of your other episodes, and if I do remember correctly,
of this podcast, or
who is your favorite driver? I'm just curious. Is it Eric Jones still?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I thought it was. Quick question: What are your thoughts about Logano? Do you like Logano? I do remember that you liked Logano. Is that true?
Y'all gonna put pitchforks at me? Yes, I am.
Okay. Gosh, you know what? I gotta say something. And I said this to my dad, and he gave me what the hell face. Okay. I told him I would rather have Logano win another championship than Hamlin ever winning one.
Oh.
Now here's why.
Whoa.
Logano's already won a championship. If he wins one, okay, cool. Listen, this is what I said. If Logano wins another championship, well, he already won one, okay? At least he doesn't win 7 times, like, whatever. He won another championship, right? If Hamlin never wins a championship, that's so good. Because, listen, I respect Hamlin to a point. I think he is great for the sport. He has personality, but oh my gosh, he always does something to piss me off.
Such as?
Like, oh, well, let's go. Actually, I'll give him, you know what? I'll give him one thing that he was good for. One good thing. 2017, I think it was, 2017 Martinsville Fall race when he wrecked Chase Elliott. Yes, that was a move of him. But Busch won the race. So I'm happy with that. Because if he would not do that, Busch would have not won the race. Okay? I'll give him props for that. Here's some reason why I don't like Hamlin, okay? I think it was 2009 or 8. I think it was the All-Star race or the Charlotte race where Hamlin put Busch in the wall, tossed in the race, okay? And him and Logano always short track racing ball. You do the exact same thing. Oh my God. He's great for the sport because at least we have somebody to, we need somebody to dislike in NASCAR. And I respect Hamlin for all his accomplishments. He's one of the best of all time, even though he doesn't have a championship, which hopefully he does not have by the end of his career. I'm sorry, Hamlin. I just think it'll be really funny. I know I'm ranting, but Hamlin is the type of guy to burn a food, like let's say he's making pasta, right? And he burns the pasta. And then his girlfriend is like, why did you burn my pasta? He's be like, oh, it's not my fault that the pot was too hot. I generally respect Hamlin. I do. I think he's a great driver for the sport, and we need people to not like, because that creates fun if they wreck or someone dumps them, It sucks when they win, but when they wreck, it's like, great day. So as I'm saying with Hamlin, if he just never wins a championship, he's won everything else. Like, why can Busch not win the 500? He was so close, but Daniel Suarez just had to spin himself on the backstretch. And I like Suarez, but he's been screwing my boy. He screwed him this year with the freaking finish, and he screwed him last season with the 500. I'm making myself angry. I need to calm myself down. That's my little rant.
You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
He could have won it. He could have won it.
And Ty Gibbs too. Oh my God, I can't stand him either.
Wait, what?
I can't stand Ty Gibbs either. Oh my God. Dude, the Xfinity Series when he wrecked his own teammate, and then when the fans said thank you, Grandpa, that was music to my ears.
But
he had the audacity. What were you gonna say?
At the time, you did realize that he was going to get into the Cup Series at some point, right? Because again, his last name? His last name literally on the shop.
Here's the thing about Ty Gibbs, okay? Do you really think that he's a great, talented driver? I'll give him that. But he's definitely toned it down the last two seasons in the Cup, which I respect. And maybe if he keeps on doing that in the coming years, I will build some form of mutual respect towards him. Excuse me. I burped. My apologies. I know this podcast does not want burping, but my apologies. So the thing I don't like about Ty Gibbs, what is my favorite number? You probably know my favorite number, right? 54. Why do I like the number 54? Because Kyle Busch drove the 54 Monster Energy Xfinity car from the early 2010s. Yes, it is the car that broke his leg, but we don't talk about that. That's a sad time in history.
What?
Joe Gibbs. Yeah. He came back and won. Yes, I had the diecast. Don't get me wrong. I see it every day and I get happy, okay? Ty Gibbs had the audacity, or I don't think it was his idea. I think it was Joe Gibbs, obviously. They had the audacity to put him in the 54 monster car in the Cup Series. Now, every time I race the number 54 when I'm playing a video game, back in my mind, I'm like, oh, great, I'm driving a Ty Gibbs Chevrolet. What? Oh my God. Now, what's my I love the number 54 because I grew up with that with Kyle in the Xfinity Series, and even Kurt raced a couple races in the 54. But Ty, if it wasn't for his father, he would be doing business stuff, maybe working with a company doing, like T-Mobile or something,
or working at the shop.
Exactly. you know, I respect high gives because if he sucks, then I would call him out for it. But he's actually pretty good, and I'll give him that.
Yeah,
Even
actually
though I don't
won
want
Rookie
him
of
to
the Year
win,
last year.
he would probably win a race, and you'll probably win a couple more. I'm not going to disagree with the guy's talent. Like, he has talent. And same with Hamlin and Logano and Brad, which Brad I actually got a lot more respect recently because he hasn't been a donkey like he was. And Logano, well, he's all right.
It's Logano.
He's all right. Yeah. And Corey LaJoy. Oh, God, don't get me started on Corey LaJoy.
Pocono, what happened with that?
He decided to do, like when you play a video game, right? And let's say you're on the final lap and like you're getting tired. You've been playing for like an hour at this track. You're in the mid-teens, and you want let's say you're in 13th. You want to finish 12th. Okay. So you turn the AI in front of you to get 12th place. Like, no big deal. There's no repercussions. My man, Corey LaJoy, almost committed manslaughter by wrecking my boy and the whole field at Pocono. Okay?
I was there.
Yes. And I guaranteed you were there. And you thought, when you saw him turn Bush, you were like, oh, TJ's probably screaming right now. Which,
Yep.
yes, I was.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw Corey LaJoy spin Kyle Busch. I said in my mind, TJ ain't going to be pleased.
Yep. So here's the thing. I would have been okay with it if he would have just said, you know what? My fault. My apologies. But here's the thing. He had 4 different excuses. Oh, he hit me first, or like he made so many freaking excuses. And then he admitted that, that he fucked up. But if you just own up to it and be like, yeah, you know what? I messed up. I was being aggressive, and I turned him. My apologies. Then fine. But he came up with so many different excuses saying like, oh, Bush deserved it. I think even the spotter was like, yeah, he deserved it anyways. Are you serious?
You serious?
Like, yeah, are you serious?
When I saw that interview that Corey LaJoy did at the track, and Corey LaJoy making up these excuses, and I said to myself, if this is playing on the live TV pictures, I bet TJ's probably losing his shit right now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what was crazy? A lot of people, dude, a lot of fans turned against him after that race, which I thought was crazy. I know a lot of people started not to like it because he started wrecking every week. Which he should be a Rick Rarick because Rick Rarick Racing is known for that, so they'll be a perfect match.
Yes.
But
the perfect couple, you could say.
Yes. And I'm gonna be honest, back to Justin Haley. Justin Haley's actually doing not that bad with the 51 car. He's not finished. He's not dead last in the point standing, so I'll give him credit for that one. But it's still Rick Rarick Racing. Anyways, back to Corey LaJoy. Corey LaJoy got so much hate after the race, and I was looking through the comment section. I think it was like one of the comments was called "Stacking Excuses," which I thought was really funny.
Reference to stacking pennies.
I was looking back because I'm like, man, if this was like, if Kyle was still in Joe Gibbs and he would have done the exact same thing, people would have probably will still be pissed, but it wouldn't go as crazy as every single day afterwards where they still attack him on social media. And then he got released from Spire. If that, I respect Corey LaJoy. I do like Corey LaJoy to an extent, but I definitely lost a lot of respect after what he did to my boy and the whole field. Almost the whole field. He did. You know what he did? He did the Dale Jr. moment from when he wrecked Brian Vickers at Daytona and wrecked my boy as well.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And you know what? I don't care because, at least Brian Vickers got wrecked. But still.
Yes.
It's still. Well, at least Junior, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I guarantee Junior was probably apologetic, but he didn't make excuses. LaJoy made excuses.
Exactly. That's the
Hold
only
up
difference.
to it. And then when everyone was, giving him hate, then he was probably like, yeah, my bad. But it's too late. The thing I don't like about some of these drivers is that, the ones that are good and they just piss me off, like the Hamlins, Logano's, the Ty Gibbs, at least they can back it up with a win. Okay, or are good, like they're consistent.
For a good result.
LaJoy, he hasn't won any races in the 3 series.
He was close.
Well, yes, I'll give that. I think it was Talladega. He was close. Or if I'm not, I think it was Talladega. I could be wrong. I was rooting for him, and then this was like 2 years ago when I liked him. Okay.
It was at
What I'm saying is that he
Atlanta.
hasn't won in any of the 3 series. He hasn't won, and he's in the Cup Series with Spire. He's been there for a couple seasons, and rookie drivers that are on the team are outperforming him every week, or mostly every week, in the same equipment. That's why
He's
they
a
released
veteran,
him.
and he's a veteran,
Yeah,
Corey Joy, and that's saying something.
and I respect LaJoy. I like what he's doing for the sport. I generally do. I do. Because at least with LaJoy, he has a podcast, talks about NASCAR, talks about other stuff. I did not like it when he brought Stenhouse into his podcast right after he did a little like air punch to Kyle Busch, which he probably connected just a little bit. Let's be real here. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I like what he's doing for the sport. He's definitely did better, but now it's kind of like, well, what is he gonna do?
Nothing.
Everyone does not like him. Nobody's gonna. No team wants somebody who hasn't won a race, has a bad reputation right now, at least. Even though he's probably a good guy, and I do respect LaJoy, you gotta come to a point where it's like, own up to it.
Exactly.
And yeah, he probably did recently. And I'm fine. But if it took you until people gave you so much shit online for you to finally say something, it's like, come on.
Corey,
I could be missing a couple of key points, then whatever. But what I've been seeing online, that's what I'm coming to the conclusion.
I don't know if you remember this, but 2017, Corey LaJoy was a rookie, and even then he was mediocre, very mediocre.
Yeah, it's just, I think the reason he's like the Patrick, you know, he had some form of a great amount of fans who supported him, like how Patrick had her fans that kept her in the sport because of investment from sponsors who want a popular driver. And look what happened.
Exactly. The crazy thing is, Corey LaJoy's Cup Series debut, from what I can remember, was the 2017 Daytona 500, which he crashed out in. He was coming down pit road and then swerved back onto the racing surface to avoid someone and slammed the outside wall. But the craziest thing is with Danica Patrick, her first race, the 2012 Daytona 500, it starts with a crash, and her last race, the 2018 Daytona 500, ends with a crash.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I really do think that Corey LaJoy needs to go to Ric Flair.
What?
I generally do think that Corey LaJoy should go to Ric Flair because when you were mentioning how LaJoy wrecked somebody almost going down pit road to avoid somebody, but we all know Ric Flair Racing like to wreck going down pit road.
You remember 2019?
Perfect match.
You remember 2019? Yep. The Daytona 500 in 2019? Yep. Where both Ric Flair Racing cars slid to pit road, but then hit Jimmy Johnson in the process and Ricky Stenhouse?
I mean, they hit Stenhouse, so.
And Jimmy Johnson,
you know, which, because my aunt, who I think was probably there, because if it happened on a Sunday, then we all watched it. She does not like Jimmy Johnson. Okay, like despises Jimmy Johnson. Like she go to a point where she would, like, if she wrecks, she will restart. Like she will rewind to the clip where he wrecked, so she can laugh at him again. She is that crazy over hating Johnson. Yeah, I think it was because, like, she's a diehard Junior fan. And if anything happened to Junior where somebody maybe, like, there was, like, you know, a problem with some other driver that Junior had a problem with for that 1 week, she will hold a grudge. She does not like Busch. Well, I mean, I guess you could say it kind of grown on her, you know, because Busch with RCR and all that stuff. But she does not like Johnson because he's too cocky. He's winning every race. You know, I think he did something with Junior. I think the Talladega race with Brian Vickers, even though it wasn't his fault, there was definitely some reasons why she just hates Jimmy Johnson. And if you've done something to Dale Jr., she will not forgive you unless I tell her to or try. Like I try to get her to be a Kyle Busch fan, but she's just like, no, I'm a Truex fan. And I'm like, oh, who are you going to vote for now next year? Because who are you going to root for? He's gone after the season, unfortunately. Who are you going to go for? Kyle Larson?
If she did, that would have been a good choice since Kyle Larson's a champion now.
Yeah, and she likes Larson, so that's probably what's going to happen. But
Kyle Larson won the 2021 Cup Series championship. Which
was well deserved.
I want to ask you this. Which driver from 2021, again, Cup Series is concerned, is more deserving of the championship? Kyle Larson or Martin Truex Jr.?
Truex.
Explain.
I think if I remember correctly, I think 2021 was like one of Truex's best years. If I could be wrong, let me actually pull this up
It was.
because it's been a couple. I want to. I gotta see it. You know what? I always say, this is how I think. If you win the regular season championship, you should go to the Final Four.
Which Kyle Larson did in 2021.
Well, Larson was good. Listen, you know what I mean. I think I'm not disappointed, but hear me out. This is what NASCAR should do. Nobody gives a shit about the regular season championship. Like, what do they get? Like a little bit of money? Big whoop.
Exactly.
If you want to make things interesting, whoever wins the regular season championship, put them in the Final Four. And then maybe like mess up with the playoffs just so everything goes well. Yeah, because it sucks when you've been good all season through and then you have a bad 2 weeks and you're out. Like, that's so bad. It's exciting, but it's, it's not, it's kind of like gimmicky, which has been a thing. It's not like the NFL, which I can understand. That's the same thing with the NFL. Because, they're kind of like, because NASCAR is kind of ruling their playoff system like the NFL, where you could be great all season long, and then you lose the playoff game, and then you're done for. But at least with the NFL, you can, like, if you're the number one seed, you could go farther in the playoffs.
You're a Packers fan, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually wearing Packers pajamas as we speak. Not capping.
How long have you been a Packers fan?
Oh, okay. So when I was younger, when I was a delusional baby boy, okay, my first favorite team was the Giants. Okay, this is when I was like too young, and my family rooted for them, so I was like, whatever, Google Gaga, I like Giants. When I started getting a little older, I think maybe like when I was like 9, 10, I was like, I like the Packers because of two reasons. This is why I like them. Number one, I like the colors, green and yellow. Wonderful. That when you're a kid, this is the same thing with me and Kyle Busch. When you're a kid, you like the visuals. Well, that's how I am. I see something that if I like a color combination that's really cool, I'll like the team. Kyle Busch had the M&Ms, which he had great M&Ms paint schemes through the years. So I liked when I was younger. I rooted for Kyle Busch due to his sponsor alone. But of course, when you get older, then you can either decide if you like him as a person or whatever, which I obviously did. The Packers, I think I started liking the Packers because of their jerseys and their helmets and such. But when you get older, I liked the team because number one, they have a great fan. Well, I think they have a great fan base. Yes, they're weird. Like they wear cheese on their heads, and I do have a cheese hat.
What?
Okay.
Hold on.
Yes.
They wear cheese on their head?
So our fans are called cheeseheads, okay? They have a triangle piece of cheese, like that's foam, like you know what I'm talking about, and they put it on their head during football games, okay? And we're called cheeseheads, okay? Now, you know how the Steelers have like their yellow towels, okay? The dirty towels. We have cheese, and I like cheese because I'm Italian, so. That doesn't make that. No, that's not the reason why I like the Packers. I mean, I think it's because of the jerseys, and also when I got older, I liked the players. I liked Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, and all of them. And obviously, I know Rodgers is not on the Packers anymore. He's on the Jets. I have a lot of respect for him as a player, and he did not go on the Vikings or the Bears or the Lions, so I like him. He did not do a Brett Favre, where he went. So, like, here. I don't know if you like baseball. Let's say you like baseball, okay? Let's say Derek Jeter was, he's on the Yankees, right? And after his contract goes off, and they couldn't get to a new deal. He goes to the Red Sox. How would you feel? Pissed, betrayed, right?
Yes.
That's what Brett Favre, the quarterback before Aaron Rodgers, did. He went on the Vikings, which is their big rivals. So, Rodgers I have respect for because at least he went to a team that is not our rivals, like the Jets. They're not even on the same division. Now we have a quarterback named Jordan Love, who is a key prospect. He is actually the NFL player of all time. I have his jersey, so he better do me good because I spent $100 on that.
Whoa, that expensive?
Good. Yeah, dude. They're like $100, $110. It's like a NASCAR Elite diecast, okay? I really do not think that NASCAR diecast should be more than $70 on a race win. But we all know that Lionel, because of the inflation, they like to extend their prices to $100 or more on a freaking metal car. Now, my idea, because I actually have a great idea. This is what I'm going to do to my father, okay? My father was a huge Dale Senior fan, okay? He watched the 500 when he won it. He watched him when he was in the Silver 3 Monte Carlo from the late, I think it was like 88 or 89. And he watched Earnhardt through his career until he passed away. And then he became a junior fan because, father and son, family,
Exactly.
When I was younger,
like son.
When I was younger, I had, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen because we all know that the iCast can go out of stock relatively quickly. But I have an idea. So when you're younger, you don't really think too much about the safety of diecast cars. Let's be real here. We probably scraped a couple diecast cars when we were younger. Yep. We just start slamming them into the wall.
Yep.
Because you want a big blow up. Yep. So my dad had a Dale Senior Goodwrench car, probably from 99 to 2000. Like what I'm talking about, right? It's just regular 3 Goodwrench. His father gave it to him. Now, obviously, I was a kid, so I would play with it and I'd blam into the wall, which was devastating, but I was a kid. I didn't know better, and I told my dad I want to play with it. He's like, he was kind of hesitant, but I kind of forced him to. And I don't want to say I destroyed it, but I gave it a beating a little bit. So my idea is, if I do, hopefully I'll try to do it. This is my goal. I don't know, maybe it will change after this podcast, but if I get enough credits on NASCAR Fan Rewards program, right now I have 4,600. Okay, I need 5,000 to get $50 on NASCAR Superstore or whatever. I'm not going to be spending $110 or $100 on a diecast. That is stupid. That's rubbish. And my dad will be like, "What the hell are you doing with your money with that?" Exactly, Okay. So,
dude,
if
I've seen a NASCAR diecast that was more than that. I've seen it on Amazon a few years ago. I was on call with my friend Bryce actually. We were scrolling through Amazon for the NASCAR diecast. We saw one, or I saw one. It was either Terry Labonte or Brian Vickers, one of the two, and the price was over $2,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Listen, I'm into I'm into records.
The money
I'm into records.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm into records. Okay, I like vinyl records. I'm not going to be spending more than $100 on a record. Okay. I'm not, because you can listen to it at home.
Expensive record that you purchased. Now that you bring that up.
That's a good one. There's some that I have that I spend a good amount on, but right now they're twice as much because they're rare. But the one that one of the ones I bought do I have a super deluxe? No, I don't. Okay. So a couple of rare ones that I have that are kind of expensive. Well, the one that I got recently, which is kind of ridiculous, but I had to bring this up. We all know the Nintendo Wii, right? We all grew up on the Wii, right? Yep. If you go online and you type in Nintendo Wii vinyl record, which plays all of the Wii music that we all grew up on, which is a stupid purchase, but Hear me out. The two of both worlds. Okay. It is mad expensive, like 500 to $1,000. And I'm not spending that much money on a
Whoa,
Wii
what?
record. Okay.
What?
Exactly, because it's not official. Okay, it's a boot. It's not official because Nintendo will not make a Wii record in 2024 because it's the Wii. It's like 20 years old or almost 20 years old. It's like 18 years old. Why would they do it?
2006 was when it came out. I don't think no one.
Yeah.
I don't think no one plays the Wii anymore because everyone nowadays.
No. I will actually disagree with that. A lot of people, if you have the Wii in 2024, you can mod the shit out of it.
Wait, what?
What? Yes. So if you, I'm not going to go into full detail because I don't know if Nintendo will be watching this. Probably not. But let's just say this. Okay. So there's an easy way. If you have an SD card and if your computer has an SD card, you could play a modded Wii. It's really simple. There's a couple things you may have to do, which is normal. It's actually relatively easy, and there's actually a lot of YouTube tutorials how to do it. But there's a thing called a homebrew channel, which is a channel that's built for mods for games. There's a lot of mods for Mario Kart Wii, Mario Bros. Wii, and all that stuff like that. And the Wii is probably the easiest console to mod. Really is. You just need an SD card. And there's actually an SD card slot on your Wii. So, but that being said, the Wii is modded. Okay, so back to the record. I saw this record online, and it was $70. Okay. Now, this is if I actually have it on me, actually. So in records, there's 180 gram pressed records, which are pressed out of factory. Then there's I think it's called left cut records, which is basically handmade. Okay, it's like made by one person.
Handmade.
So, yeah, or like somebody did it by themselves, not like a whole factory did it. It's not pressed. You know what I mean?
God.
And these records, so these records they're not the best. Like they're not. I don't want to say they're bad, but like you may have to do a little bit of tweaking to get the best out of it. So I saw it and I was like, "Oh my god, it's $70. That's better than $200 or $500." Am I right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, that actually is cool." And it plays Wii Sports Resort, the Wii Channel music. It plays all that cool stuff. Like we all grew up on.
I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast right now has played Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort at some point in their lifetime. I know for a fact
Exactly.
I have. Well, Wii Sports anyway. I haven't played Wii Sports Resort. Only Wii Sports.
You know what? I have not played a Wii Sports Resort until recently because of Dolphin Emulator. If it wasn't for that, then I would have never ever played it. I was a Wii Sports kid. I wasn't a Wii Sports Resort kid. I never got it. I didn't even know it existed until maybe 5 years ago.
Same.
So back to the point. I was looking at it and see I have a turntable, okay, and it's not like the most expensive thing in the world, but it's a really good one. This record is good for turntables that are more professional. And I was gonna pass on. I was like, I don't want to get it and it skips badly. Long story short, I showed my friend this and he's like, okay, I'm buying it. So he buys it. And he shows me a video of him playing it and it did not skip, which skipping is a bad thing. We all know if you have a DVD and it freezes, not good. Yeah. But when it's something that costs $30 or more, you expect it to work. Okay. And there has been times where I got a pressed record where it was skipped. But back to my original thing. So I was like, oh my God, now I need it. I need it. Like I'm saying to myself, I need it. Okay. So I buy it. It was somebody on Etsy. Okay. And eBay. It's also on eBay. So it came like a week later, and it's a clear record, and I put it on. Actually, I was hanging out with my friends that day, so I came home when my friends were here, and I was showing up like, guys, here we are. I have a Wii record. I played it skipped badly, like it skipped like whole songs. Okay, and I was devastated.
You were gutted.
And I was upset.
You were gutted.
Yes. So what happened was, I was like, did I just get the bad luck, right? So then what I did was I was like, so my future brother-in-law who actually engaged to my sister a couple, 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations
He
to
has
them, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So long story short, he has the exact same turntable, but his turntable he doesn't
Wait, the
really
same
use as much
one?
as I do.
The same one?
Like the exact same model. Okay, because my sister just I guess saw mine, was like, oh, that looks so cool, whatever. So I tested it on his, and it did pretty good. It did not skip. So I'm like, okay. So what I did was I replaced the needle on my turntable, even though it was a newly replaced needle replacement, and it works. But occasionally, I think there was like a minor skip, which is fine. I could tolerate it, but it plays better and it plays full songs now like it was before. So the most expensive one was probably that one. There's also a Kiss Creatures of the Night Deluxe Edition, because you guys, I'm a huge Kiss fan, so I get everything Kiss. I got a Kiss Creatures of the Night Deluxe Edition blue vinyl that costs like $60, but right now it's probably going for $200 or $130 or whatever. That's expensive now. I'm trying to look back. I'm trying to look at my collection. I remember for CD wise, I got like Nirvana's Nevermind for like 100, like that has like a bunch of live shows. It's like a super deluxe for CD, which was like 130. Shit like that. But I have not spent over $200 on a single record. I'm going to try to keep it that way. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I listen to records. I know a lot of people always say, well, you can just listen to it on Spotify. Well, do you get ad breaks while on Spotify? No, yes. If you don't get out a record, okay, that's number one. Number two, it feels better. It feels more natural. When you're okay, so there's a record. There's an album made by C418 called Minecraft Alpha. I don't know if you ever played Minecraft before. You probably have.
I have.
You know the menu music.
Yes, I do.
You know how wonderful and beautiful that sounds?
Dude, that is iconic in itself.
Okay. Now, in Minecraft, there's a thing called a jukebox, or you know what I'm talking about, right? A jukebox where you can play a jukebox or a music box to play CDs in Minecraft, like the music discs.
In the game?
I don't know. Yeah, in the game itself.
I believe there's a way you can craft that.
Yeah, yes, but in Minecraft, there's a thing called a jukebox or a music box where you can place a CD in and it will play like a music. Okay. Now, my turntable, I don't know if you know, is kind of like brown, which is the same as the Minecraft jukebox. So when I saw online that there's a Minecraft a C14, who is the person who made the Minecraft menu music, the iconic ones like Sweden, all that stuff, and made it to a record, I was like, I have to get this. Okay.
Did you?
And when I bought it, yes, I did, and it was cheap. It was like $25, which is a steal.
Oh, wow.
I put it in my turntable, and I put it on, and because when you get a turntable, you get like a little bit of a feedback, which is like a nice soothing feedback. Some people don't like it, some people love it. But when you put that on the turntable and you listen to the Minecraft menu music with a little bit of the record sound to it, it's perfect. Because when you play Minecraft and you put a music disc in a jukebox, I think it's called, it's kind of similar. It is kind of similar. So I like records because I do like collecting them, but I do have a use for them. Like the diecast thing, like when back to NASCAR, I only get diecast nowadays if it's like a special moment of my life. For example, when Busch won the 2015 and 2019 championships, I got his championship car. It's not the race wins, unfortunately, but his champion car. Okay, I got both of them.
It says champion on the roof.
Yes, and it has like 3 pieces of confetti on one of them. I think the 2015 one. I got that, and I also got Kyle Busch's first win with RCR, Lucas Oil. I got that because that was a great day. Because I thought he was going to do shit with that team, even though right now he's like, yeah. But we don't talk about
last year's stats compared to this year. Last year was much better compared to this year.
Yeah, Yeah. So I got that, and that's actually the race twin car. And I got that, and even though I wish there was more debris on it, but it's actually how the car looked at the end of the race. So I got that. I got I got his 2008 color chrome M&M's car. That's the one I got from Jack's Racing Collectibles. Same with the 2007 Hendrix CarQuest, or no, the Kellogg's car
With Tony the Tiger
but
on the
the
hood?
wing. Yeah, that's Kellogg. Yeah, that's the Tiger.
Kellogg's.
Yeah, Kellogg's. Yeah,
The one that you have with Kyle Busch, 2007, right?
yeah, it's the COT. But the problem is that somebody accidentally dropped it and the wing fell off, which I'm still upset about. But I did not throw it away because it's Kyle Busch. Anyways, then I got I'm not gonna tell you all of them, but something meaningful to I think it was like 2020. I think it was 2020. 2019, I guess I'll say Snickers car, which was like white with a little bit with stripes of red and blue and the brown at the end. That I got from the Daytona store at Daytona International Speedway. That one has a special place in my heart because I went to Daytona. I did the Richard Petty experience, and I went 174 miles per hour, which was great.
You were flying that day, were you?
I gotta be honest. My mom and dad were kind of scared, and I can understand them why. No, they were scared for me because again, I'm going in a race car. So, but after the first lap, I was comfortable. I wasn't scared after the first lap.
So you were comfortable
and
like that.
Yeah. And because it's not like, and you know what was crazy though? Well, you could actually buy a video of it because they have cameras inside the car where you can see yourself actually in the car. So I think it costs a little bit of money, but when you're there, you could get a video of you inside the car, which I have a video of. I think it's on my channel, but they give you a USB and you plug it in your computer and you have the video of when you're in the car. It's like there's multiple cameras and such. It's really cool. So if you ever do the NASCAR racing experience and you want to go inside of a car or whatever, you can also buy a video of it, of you driving it or you're behind the wheel of it. You know what I'm saying?
And
so I recommend you doing that.
Forever, right?
What?
You can keep that video forever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can. And I mean, back to the diecast thing. I do have I have Dale Senior's legacy cars, like the Gen 4 ones. There was a chrome one and there was a black one that I got from Jack's Racing relatively cheap. And I got his 2001 Budweiser. The Oreo, the Shootout, I think it was. Or the Clash, one of the two.
Shootout.
It was one of his last cars. Yep.
He ran.
Cool car. I actually got that at my local racetrack for $20. That was sick.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's basically all my 124s. The rest are I don't really collect diecasts as much because it's expensive, and I always say to myself, what you say?
You think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so what I do is if I collect things, I gotta see if I have a use for them.
Dude,
at least
look at the prices for F1. NASCAR, it may be $70, $80 on average. Formula One, you're looking at double that. We're talking
fuck.
$125, $200, but it depends which you're looking at. Mostly the red ones that are defined. Those cost on average $150, if not $200, $300. Again, it depends which F1 car you're looking at.
Yeah, see, this is what I think. I always say to myself, if I'm collecting something, well, this is what I'm doing now at least. If I collect something, I gotta have a use for it. I gotta do something with this thing.
Same.
For example, records. I play with the records. I listen to them. Diecast, what am I gonna do with them? Just put them on a shelf? And I'll only do it if it's a special moment in my life, or if I was at that race and Bush won a race, then I'll be like, oh my, I gotta get it. Or if it's he won a big race and I was happy that day, I'll buy it. But I'm not gonna spend so much money on a diecast just for it to sit there. I'm not only the ones that are important to my life that I'll do. That is to say, and my cousin Chris, he got a freaking replica championship belt for WWE. Looks really cool, but obviously he's happy that he has it, and respect for him. But for me, I am not going to spend $300 to $500 on a belt that looks really cool just for it to sit there. Like, I don't have a use for it. I know things are different for different people, but for me, if I don't see a use for it or it's not as important to me, I'm not going to buy it. That's just how I am.
In other words, you don't see the point.
Exactly. I can see it will look cool in the room, and maybe that's its purpose, but I'm not really like that. I mean, my room is already like filled with stuff on the wall and everything. I don't have no room for a belt on the wall, you know?
Same for me.
Now, quick question, because I was actually going to ask you this, because I was thinking of questions that I was going to ask you.
What's that?
What are some games that you've been playing recently? Like you can give me like 5 games, or what are some games? It could be from PS2, any game, video game that you have been playing recently.
Well, these last few days, again, as of this recording, August 5th, 2024, these last few days, I've been playing NASCAR 2011, mainly messing around with the 2011 content or the 2011 roster.
How? Wait, you got that on your PS3 or?
3.
Wait. Yeah, you got this on your PS3, right? You got the DLC?
Yes, I do.
You lucky son of a. Okay. All right. We may have beef, but dude, you don't understand. I've been waiting.
You buy the PS3. You buy the PS3. You have NASCAR 2011 for the Xbox, I believe.
Yeah, and I also have it on PC with emulation.
Well, maybe there's a way you can download it, find a source online, get the 2011 roster, and download it on the Xbox 360. Maybe, but if there's no luck, if you don't have a PS3, you might as well save
when
up,
did you get
one, get NASCAR 2011 simultaneously for the PS3. You put that in, you got to update the PS3 system first. So to do that,
how did
the 2011 content is right there for free.
I don't like you. Okay, so because I have it on my PC, because there's an emulator on PC called RPS3 or RPCS3, which is a PlayStation 3 emulator that I've been able to use because my computer is actually better. Okay. And you can actually download DLC for it, but I cannot find the DLC for NASCAR the Game 2011, or it doesn't work. So I'm sad, okay? But that's besides the point. Because what I'm saying is that I don't see a point of buying, unless it's a new console, of course, but if it's like an old generation console, like 360 or below it, I just get on emulation on my PC, because you can get mods. Like, I know NASCAR Thunder 2003 has a couple mods. It has NASCAR Thunder 2000, which is a mod which basically has the 2000 cars to the game, which is cool. NASCAR Heat 5 has a lot of mods for it. NASCAR Thunder 2004 recently just.
We all know damn well NR 2003 or NASCAR Racing 2003 season has a quick ton of mods.
Yes, they do. And actually, the cool thing about NR 2003 is that there's actually a way. I don't know. I think you probably have the disc version, like you have the physical edition of the game, which I'm assuming you do.
I do.
Okay, this is different from me. There's actually a way, because I guess Papyrus added like a code or a key for you to actually play without the disc. Which
I actually had a friend of mine, not to bring that up, I actually had a friend of mine that played NASCAR Racing 2003 season and has downloaded that recently and did not purchase the actual disc.
Yeah, same here.
So he downloaded it from his computer.
Yeah, there's a couple websites to download it from. But basically, NR 2003, you know, you can download par sets, mods, spotter mods, like, and other cool stuff, you know. But yeah, NR 2003 has great mods. Thunder 2004 recently actually just got a couple mods for the
Oh,
PlayStation 2 emulator PCSX2. Somebody actually made it. I actually had a pain in the ass doing it, but he did say he could help me without his Discord. I just haven't had the time to do it. But yes, there is a mod for Thunder 04. There's also a mod for Chasing the Cup, which adds new paint schemes to the game. From like they have Cobb, which is 84, like one of his first starts in the Cup.
in the
Or
Cup Series,
and
the Nextel Cup at the
yeah,
time.
yeah. So they have a lot of cool, new paint schemes for that. I'm trying to think of other games. I can't really think of anything.
2006, if there was any mods for that.
No. So when it comes to EA games, there hasn't really been a lot of NASCAR mods. They're now recently gonna add mods for those games. Like first thing is, well, see for Thunder 03 and also Dirt to Daytona, all the GameCube NASCAR games have a mod, except for Heat. Heat. If you have Dolphin Emulator, you can download the Dirt to Daytona ones, which has new paint schemes. And if you race the Dirt Series on Dirt to Daytona, you can have old retro paint schemes like Dale Senior's Wrangler. All that.
And for those folk that have Dirt to Daytona, and for those who, funny enough, my friend Bryce, who is a huge Jimmy Johnson fan, actually recently purchased the game for himself, was pissed that Jimmy Johnson wasn't in the game, but in one of the mods for Dirt to Daytona, you download the mod, Jimmy Johnson's on there.
I generally think that Dirt to Daytona, Thunder 03, and Chase the Cup, all on Dolphin Emulator, you can easily get mods for it. And there's a couple, there's a tutorial how to do it. It's really easy. You just put it in a certain directory on your computer for that emulator. And it changes the resolution to the cars. Like, like how like Dale Jr. had like the Dale Jr. sponsorship because of the, obviously because of, because kids are playing the game, they don't want Budweiser.
That's an alcoholic beverage and it's for kids and that's censored out.
Yeah, so what they did for the mod, which has a bunch of other paint schemes, they replaced it with the Budweiser car, and it's all high res, which it looks new. It's not blurry textures anymore. There's a couple of websites that do it, but yeah, 03 has Thunder 2000 and also has like a couple retexture mods. I know 2003 we all know about. The Utetniks games they don't have any mods for, unfortunately, which I hope that changes. Because I love the Utetniks games. And when it comes to EA Sports NASCAR games, except for the ones on GameCube, on the PS2 side of things, they recently started doing mods for Thunder 04, which has some paint schemes from 2007, 04, 05, and such like that. But there's probably more in the future. I watched Michael Roots, so whenever he posts a mod showcase, I download it. But yeah, a couple other games actually, like R Factor 2 and Assetto Corsa, great racing simulators. They have NASCAR mods for free, which I thought was really cool.
Wait, you play those?
Yeah. So, before we go into my games I've been playing recently, because those two games will be mentioned. You've been playing what did you say?
The one?
What? No. What was the game that you mentioned before that we were just? I just had a brain fart.
NASCAR.
What was one of the games that you played recently?
NASCAR 2011.
Oh yeah, 2011. Yeah, that's when I'm pissed again. Yeah. What other games have you been playing recently? Like last couple weeks or so? Like you've been playing it for a while, and that's it's one of your go-to games at the moment. It could be NASCAR, it could be Formula One, it could be any game, Mario, Zelda, or whatever.
Definitely ain't Mario, I can tell you that. For Formula One, it's F1 2012, F1 2012, F1 19 with the classic cars that they have. And I believe that's there's also one a couple months ago, a few of them, F1 2000, F1 Championship, Season 2000 to be more precise. 2001, 2002, Career Challenge. That's a decent amount.
So those are the games that you've been playing. I heard from reviews from Steam that F1, like the F1 games are nowadays.
Oh, the F1
24.
F1 24, that too.
I heard that people don't like that game. Like, there's a lot of mixed reviews about that game. I've heard
Me personally, I like
people.
it.
It's at least it's not NASCAR 21 Ignition, which again I
Yes.
spent the money on it. I actually pre-ordered the game. I actually
Wait, whoa, whoa,
was
whoa, whoa,
excited for
whoa,
it, and
whoa.
then
Rewind button. Rewind button. Play button. Repeat that.
I pre-ordered NASCAR 21 Ignition.
Pause. 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 Processing. 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 Play. You pre-ordered NASCAR 21 Ignition?
Unfortunately, and I actually played it for a couple hours over the coming months, so they could try to fix the game. And they have, but I remember going out to Talladega and Atlanta, and I hear the spotter saying 3x3x3x3x3x3 inside, right, inside, right, outside, spamming himself, and then the cars will just go all on top of you, and you go through the track. The only thing that I liked about it was the paint booth. Okay. Yeah, that's something I do regret. Just like I spend a lot of money on AEW Fight Forever, but we don't talk about that.
One of my
But I
my friend
will.
Bryce, he had the same. He would say the same thing. He didn't pre-order. He didn't pre-order it though. That's the difference. He didn't pre-order it. He played the game.
I
This
think.
was over a year later after the game came out. He played it in 2022, and he played it. And the more he played it, the more he realized that it's not that good. Mainly
Yep.
because of the AI. Mainly because of the AI and how
Oh,
broken the game is.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I really hope NASCAR 25 delivers. I really generally think it will because iRacing they actually do care about the sport.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not saying anything about NASCAR 25 because you
I
remember
will pre-order it
2016?
and
You remember 2016 when all the hype was there for NASCAR?
don't talk about Heat Evolution. Okay. Again, I don't know if I pre-ordered it, but I got it and I actually did somewhat enjoy it. I used to play online back in the day
I
on
didn't
Heat
play
Evolution.
online, but I did and still do own Heat Evolution. I got it ever since I got it on the day it came out or a day after it came. Wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah.
really on the day it came out or a day after it came out. I had Heat Evolution ever since, though I haven't touched it in 4 years.
I see.
But
I think I was excited because Heat was fun, or Heat Evolution, or there was actually a NASCAR game that was finally going on Xbox One. So I was excited. So I got it, and I had great memories on it.
same.
But yeah, it's
Well,
it's so shit.
Here's the question: is NASCAR Evolution better than NASCAR 21?
Yeah, at least with Heat Evolution, I
And
know the
that's saying
physics were.
something. And that's saying something.
But here's the thing.
You say
Here's the
NASCAR
thing.
Evolution is better than NASCAR 21, and 21 was the
Here's
latest edition, and that's saying something.
Well, here's the thing. Heat Evolution, at least, yes, it had bad physics, but at least it had cautions that somewhat kind of worked, and the points were actually accurate.
Yes.
Okay. It was functional, even though it was shit, it was functional. It did not crash.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if Heat Evolution crashed for you, but it didn't crash for me.
Yeah, but you know what was a good thing? If you were far behind, you just keep on pausing the game and you'll be back up to the pack.
That was one of the broken features with that game.
They had that in Heat 2 as well. And then Heat 3, I think they patched it. If I'm not mistaken.
In Heat 3, I think they patched it and you couldn't do that no more. You can try.
Yeah.
The glitch it's not gonna be there. I remember vividly it was on Heat Evolution, but for Heat 2, I forgot it was on there.
Yeah, Heat 2, I remember I got it because Cowboy. I got it. I got all the NASCAR Heat games except for Heat 5, which I actually got recently because of mods.
Finally.
Yeah, took me a while, but I finally got Heat 5. I have not really touched it, really. It's the same game.
Yeah,
it was on sale.
It's really coming pace of NASCAR Heat 4, just for the 2020 run.
Yeah.
But that's the only difference.
The only thing that they changed, and I do remember, is that you could actually mess around with the championship tracks. Like you could have like You can actually mess with the schedule. If I'm not mistaken, that's the only thing they made differently.
You can?
I could be wrong. I know. I think if I remember, Heat 5 is when they like in championship mode, you can actually change like what track, like you can change the schedule. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
So a custom schedule.
Yeah, custom schedule. Yeah, which I think was cool. I don't know if it was in Heat 4, but it was in Heat 5. Um, but the games that I've been playing recently, and they're all been mostly racing games except for one. I've been playing R Factor 2, which is a really fun game. It's another racing simulator. I think you know about it. If you have it on Steam, you can go on the Steam Workshop and you can download tracks, you can download cars and HUDs and stuff like that. The cool thing about R Factor 2 is the physics, but you can have up to 100 AI cars.
100?
I think 100 because I raced a race yesterday with 70 cars. Okay. Which is a lot. And obviously it depends on how good your computer is, but you can race up to 100, I think. And you can race up to like 1,500 laps if you wanted to. But the thing about R Factor 2 that sucks is that it's not as easy as it is to get your controls situated. Like again, I play on an Xbox controller, so it took a long time for me to realize like how to set up the controller correctly to how it would play on like a console. But besides that, and also the fact that if you don't have any downloaded game or downloaded tracks or cars or whatever from the Steam Workshop, you don't get any tracks or cars for the base game. And the game is $25. But if there is actually a DLC for the game, which is obviously optional. But if you have it on Steam, you can just download the tracks from there. Like there's the actual Daytona and like Watkins Glen and stuff like that. Even though there's actual DLC of the track, you can actually just get it on Steam for free. But yeah, that game I've been playing. Assetto Corsa is okay. Like there's a NASCAR mod for it, which is pretty cool, but I'm not really crazy about it. Mario 64 I've been playing. That's an old one. That's yeah. There's a mod for it which is called Mario 64. No, Render 96. That's what it's called. Basically, if you look at old promo material from Mario in the N64 days, there's a certain art style that he has. The mod basically changes that Mario 64 game into the graphically version of that art style that it was from like the early times, which is really cool. Great game. Thunder 2003 I've been playing. Chase of the Cup I've been playing. Not career modes exactly. I have been playing a little bit of Chase the Cup career mode, but those three I've been playing. And yeah, that's basically about it.
NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. That's actually, again, as of this recording, as of August 5th, 2024, it's actually about to turn 20 years old in a couple of weeks. August 31st, 2004 was when the game came out.
Quick question. Now, I don't know if you have this. You have 04, correct? Or you've played Thunder 04, okay? You have?
I have for 10 years now. Well,
are the cars...
Anyway. PS2 anyway.
Yes. Are the cars, like, the steering itself sensitive?
Like, they are if you turn off the assist.
Okay. Because, like, for example, if you try to, like, tightly or slightly turn your joystick, will it just turn a little bit more than how you want it to?
If I slightly make movement with the joystick, the car will spin right round.
Okay.
That's
all
when
right.
that was my problem.
04 here
firsthand.
Thunder 04 is a great game. Well, I think one of the best of all time, but I cannot do a Daytona or Talladega race within my life due to the fact that it is a pain in the, maybe because it's my controller settings on my emulator, but it's a pain in the ass to get the car in a comfortable manner.
You know what? You want something funny? I just remembered something. I remember watching one of your videos that you were playing NASCAR Thunder 2004. You were doing the Daytona Beach course as Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yep.
You kept crashing into people and wrecking, and you said, "Oh, for F's sake!" at the end. That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely I actually been playing NASCAR 07. I actually love NASCAR 07 on PS2. That's actually a fun ass game to play.
Yes, it is.
That
Yes, it is.
06 is okay, at least when it comes to emulator wise. Like again, it has the same problem like 04, where at least in my end where it's a little too fidgety the way I like it. But 07 is great to play. Love it.
Quick question. You play on the emulator, right?
Yes.
Are you still able to do the car swap thing? Or
Oh, dude, yeah. So
with your
basically,
teammates? You can still do that?
oh, okay. So here's the thing. Okay, so whatever is so emulator. Okay, I know you're not really into emulators, or you don't know. I don't know if you know as much as I do when it comes to emulators, but basically, there's emulators play any game from that console on that device. For example, Nintendo 64 has Project 64. You can play any N64 game on the software Project 64 on the PC. It's called an emulator because it emulates the style of the console. Now, emulators you can change the graphics to make them better, high definition, 4K, whatever, which is cool. So, back to your question, yes, because in PlayStation 2, PCSX2 emulator, you can download and play PlayStation 2 games. Most of them. I think all of them. Like you can play Def Jam Vendetta, WWE, whatever. Madden, F1, whatever. So when you do, you basically, you map out your controls, and then that's it. Whatever you assign the car swap feature will be it. If let's say on your physical PS2 edition of NASCAR Thunder 2004, you will get the exact same features from that game on the emulator. There's no changes. They don't decrease the feature because they can't do it. It's just having the physical game digitalized on an emulator to play it. But the cool thing, but you can also graphically enhance it to make it better. But obviously, it depends on your computer. If you have a lower end PC, like I did, like some emulators, like you may not be able to play a PS3 emulator or Xbox 360 one. But if you're more like me, where I have like an AMD Ryzen 7 and I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, you can definitely play the higher end consoles, like the newer generation ones. But you could also play like the easier ones to set up, like the PlayStation 2 one. You could probably play on your PC. Dolphin emulator would work well, and like NES, Project Nintendo 64, all those ones. If you want me to help you on how to like set them up and shit like that, I'm here. But to answer your question, yes, whatever you can do on the physical PS2 with that game, you can do it on the emulator, and you can also and also better by enhancing the graphics.
Wow. Well, I'll be one of the another gameplay that I remember you playing. I don't think you played this recently, but at some point, at some point, you gotta play it again.
I'm not playing Getting Over It. Shut up. You know what? Maybe. Okay,
Wait,
maybe
what?
it depends if I'm in the mood. All right, it depends. Okay, that game. You know what's crazy? My friend, who I've known for a very long time, I told him to get the game. I told him, you can't beat this. It's hard. He beat it in the day of, and he sent me a picture of it, and I got pissed.
What?
Yep. But yeah. You know what? I knew you were gonna say it. I knew it.
TJ, please. Please.
You know what? Maybe. I'll give it a maybe. Maybe I'll do another episode of it. But yeah. Cool thing about back to emulators. Emulators are free. So let's say you want to get NASCAR 07 right now on PS2 right now. It's like $70, even though that's not the case. Probably it's probably like $30. On PC, it's free.
Wait a minute.
That's what I like about it. Yeah.
You can also download PSP games, right? PlayStation Portable.
You can play. Okay, so when it comes to the newer consoles like PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, like the newer gen consoles, they're kind of hard to emulate because number one, they're new, and again, but when it comes to Xbox 360, PS3, and the ones behind it or the ones before that, yes. They have 3DS, they have DS, they have PSP, they have PS Vita, they have PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, Dreamcast. They have basically all the retro stuff.
They have all of it, basically.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get the games because that's, again, not legal, but during the video because, again, I don't want you to get If you want to know, there's a couple of websites on there that is not. Don't worry, it's not on the dark web or anything. Like, you're good. Don't worry. It's actually pretty easy to find it. But yeah, it's all free.
Wow. And regarding your experience with NASCAR Thunder 2004, 05, 06, 07, I don't know if you played 08 or 09. Have you played 08?
Yes. I have. Okay, so I played 08 occasionally on PS3. Not the console, the PC version. And if you wreck, you flip like 50 miles per hour or more. But I played NASCAR 09 actually a lot more. I actually played it on my Xbox 360, my actual 360 for the longest time. Used to play Chicago Pier, and used to do great races. And I actually love 09 because I love the 2008 paint schemes. Great time. And actually, what's crazy about NASCAR 09? I think you can also get this on your 360 as well. If you can actually download the Lost DLC for that game.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. So on NASCAR 09, there was a DLC that came out. Actually, a couple of DLCs. One of them was for a track, Montreal, and the other were new paint schemes from the 2008 season. Okay? Now, the DLC was found, and you can actually download it on the Xbox 360 emulator called Exedia. I think it's called, Exedia. And basically, doing a couple of things, you can get it to work for free. You can also do it on your Xbox 360. It won't work on PS3 because there hasn't been the DLC was not been found on the PS3 version, but it was on the Xbox 360 version. But you can play more. You have additional more paint schemes from NASCAR 09 plus Montreal, which is I don't want to say it's kind of broken, but like the AI tend to wreck occasionally, like Bristol from NASCAR 2013. But yes, you can.
How is NASCAR 13, by the way?
Okay. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to, I don't know if you watch him, Michael Roots. Everyone knows of him. He's probably the only, he's probably one of my favorite NASCAR YouTubers, but he got me interested in NASCAR 2013, and I got it. You can actually get it on Amazon, actually. You can get like a Steam key for you to buy it. What?
Like a code when you purchase?
Yeah, like a code. Like, yeah. You basically get an email of the code, and then you can, it's like $20, which is not that bad. You can get a code through your email, or you can get it on the Amazon website after you purchase it. I think it's like maybe like a couple hours after. And you put it on Steam, you put it in, and then you get the game. You can download it. I like 2013. I love the Utenics games because at least, you see, I like NASCAR games a lot more realistically. Not realistically, but fun. I like when the AI wreck each other because it's not just me causing a manslaughter on the track. At least the AI are doing the exact same thing. Okay? I don't like games where the AI don't make mistakes. I like when they make mistakes. Because, so you can actually so if you're racing as such and Logano wrecks the field, there you go. It is realistic.
You said Logano.
So, oh, okay, fine. Let's paint a picture. Daytona, night race. You're racing as I don't know, let's say Kyle Busch, and you're just driving, holding your line. And we all know the Tenix NASCAR games with the restrictor plate races are fantastic because all lanes work on those tracks. Okay, they do. I don't want to hear it. Better than 03, better than the newer games. The AI at the restrictor plate races from NASCAR 14 and 15 are the best when it comes to Talladega and Daytona racing. If you watch or if you played those games, you can agree.
Right, that's a huge hot take right there.
In my personal opinion, I'm talking about like restrictor plate pack racing. The best game for that is NASCAR 14 and 15. It is, hands down.
Explain.
Yep. Okay, let's get to the basics here. Number one, it's not pack racing without having a pack of cars together. Okay, that is a positive. If you have a lot of like, you know how some games like I think 2011 they had tandem drafting, which didn't really work because you can do the tandem drafting, you can bump someone behind you, but when it comes to them doing it to you, it does not work. If somebody tries to push you, you don't even move. Okay, you gotta push them to make any passes. You can't the AI won't help you pass people because again, it's 2011. Okay, even though I love that game because I grew up on it, there were some things that were flawed. Back to 15, pack racing. The AI were all close together. There was no cars like you all see Jimmy Johnson in turn 3 and the rest of the field are all spread out. No, they're all together. So you see multiple lead changes and it's more chaotic because you only have a few seconds to make a move to go if you want to switch lanes. It's like real life where, especially going into the final stages of the races, you make decisions that could either A, benefit you, or 2, wreck the field, like Stenhouse, okay? So, NASCAR 15, and well, I want to say NASCAR 15 because I played that the most, had that feature. Now, the one thing I would say is a little disappointing that they don't wreck each other, but besides that, the pack usually stays together. Even when pit road happens, if green flag pit stops, you will always have a lead pack. And like there'll maybe be a couple cars out like like Josh Wise or a Parker Kligerman, even though he wasn't in 2015. Like they would be out of the pack, but you have like most of the field in that pack. And all the lanes work. It's not just the inside lane where you just stay on the inside lane and you just basically win the race. If 15, you can go in the middle and the outside lane and you can make passes. And it works. So yeah, that's my hot take, but I think my decision is right.
Case closed. Case closed. I agree because 2011, someone pushes you, but you don't go nowhere. You have to push the AI to get somewhere as far as Daytona and Talladega is concerned.
Yep. That is true.
More so, the low line, the inside line is your best friend. The outside line, you don't gain ground.
Yep, and the thing is, it's like, when you play the heat games, like the pack racing's not that bad, but the problem is that if you won't go anywhere. Like maybe you'll make like one pass on the outside lane, but the inside lane is your best friend. That's it.
Always. Always.
But yeah, that's my hot take. Yep, I probably played NASCAR 15 the most. Last couple of years because I played on my 360, made a lot of cool paint schemes. Paint booth was great, and then always played Talladega, Daytona, and Bristol because Bristol in that game was on steroids. 4 wide at Bristol is crazy.
In other words, it's chaotic.
Yep. I would say it's not as bad as 2013, but 15 is up there.
I haven't played those games in a long time.
I remember I used to watch somebody who I think you probably heard of, but he is, I think allegedly, but I think it's true. What he has done is f***ed up. I don't know if you ever watched N2SC4. I don't know, have you? Back in the day?
I used to.
Yep, I can't do. I remember I used to watch his videos when he used to do 15 and did like the season mode and all that stuff. And Bristol, he would like get frustrated because again the AI was shit. But I cannot watch his videos because all that shit that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like, dude, and that killed my childhood. That just killed my childhood.
After we got
Now,
news that N4SC had done
bad stuff. But let's
bad
not get
stuff,
too detailed with
I'm
it
not going to get too
because
detailed into that.
yeah, because YouTube. But everyone knows
Exactly.
about it. Like it's been a couple years.
It's been 4 years at this point.
Yeah,
And
but
this
yeah,
contract
it just
ever
sucks.
since.
But if it's true, I don't know if it's true. I think it's true, but I don't want to. I don't know if the accusations are true or not. I think there's evidence, but again, it's been 4 years, and he's been gone off the internet. So
Yeah, he's been off the face of
like
the
whatever.
internet since ever since he did that bad thing in 2020. He's been inactive ever since.
Even his brother too,
Yep, even his brother.
which I don't think he had nothing to do with it, but I guess I can understand why he left too. But I think he was innocent with all of it. But I get it. But let's go back to a positive note. So turn 4, we know me and you have we've done a video. We all know that me and you have done videos together. On your channel we've done the documentaries. We've done the documentaries. And I always loved doing it. And I think it was like a year ago actually. When I had my old PC, the shit box. I call it the shit box, even though it's on the Xbox. It's a shit. I know I got that PC for free because of my friend, and he's actually my closest friend because I know this for a very long time. But he gave it to me for free because I always wanted a PC, and if it wasn't for that PC, which I still have, just in case, God forbid, but if it wasn't for that PC, I would not have played NR 2003 before I wouldn't have known so much about computers if it wasn't for that computer. So, anyways, the microphone, I don't know if you remember that old video when we did a tier list on NASCAR video games. And this was a time where we kind of this is when I was starting to get my foot into NASCAR, like old NASCAR video games. Like I played all the Technics games by that point, but I'm talking about like the old EA games and stuff like that. I played a little bit, but nothing too much at the time. Until recently, with my new PC, now I can play those games and not look like a box. Back to what I was saying. Do you think it will be a great idea for your viewers of the Turn 4 fandom? I don't know if you have a little bit of a fan name for your fans. Us Packer fans, we're called Cheeseheads. Kyle Busch, the Rowdy Nation. We could call your fans the Turn 4. Aggressive Goes Around. That could be your fan base. That will be called Aggressive Goes Around. Anyways, do you think it'll be a great idea for your viewers to do a tier list on your podcast? I don't know if anyone has done this before on your podcast, but if they've done like a tier list or something as a side project doing the podcast, do you want to do that?
Well, as far as a side project is concerned, I remember one of my friends did iRacing for a little bit, but even though that's not, the footage is not shown because this is audio purpose. This is a podcast. It's audio only, but as far as
okay,
concerned,
so it will probably that won't make sense to do it because like how are we gonna rank stuff without the freaking video? Like how
unless there is some way I can think and edit, but regardless, we can do a tier list. We can do a tier list. Either A, because this is going to be on Spotify, regardless. A, people, whoever has their phone or some sort of electronic device or the piece of paper, they can write down the tier list, such as very good, average, mid, meh, very bad, and what have you on one side of the box, and on the other side of the box, they can put down whatever it is that we're listing. They can do it that way. But other than that, yeah, we can do the tier list.
Yeah. As you guys, me and Turn 4 talked about this before this podcast. There will be, I think most likely there will be a tier list or a bracket or whatever on this podcast, and there will also be another one on my channel. If you guys want to see some stupid shit You want to see me rage or
Getting
cry
over
or
it.
play
Getting
with
over it,
plushies?
please. Getting over it.
Fine,
Yes.
fine. Fine,
Yes.
I'll do it. I'll do it at some point. I'll do it in the coming weeks. I'll play getting over it. Okay, I'm not gonna guarantee beating it, but I'll do another video. Okay.
Dude, if your friend
Now,
can beat it, so can you.
shut up. Shut up.
If your friend can beat
Shut up.
it, you can too.
You know what? There's actually a game that I'm trying to get my friends to all beat because it's actually a fun game. Chained Together. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
What is it called?
Chained Together.
I never heard of that one.
It's on Steam and it's $5. Okay, let me tell you about this game. Okay, this game is a load of magical dog shit. It's great, but it hurts your brain. Chained Together is a parkour or like a parkour platformer where you with one or up to 4 people are chained together. Okay. Now you start from hell and you go to heaven. You go from hell and you try to escape it to go to heaven. Okay. Now, let's say you make the jump, and again you're all chained together. Okay. You make the jump and 2 people miss the jump. Well, guess what? Your guys are gonna be going down. Okay. All right. Chained Together is a game where all 4 parties have to work together.
So
It's not just a regular
you all
platformer.
have to work together then. So it's a team game.
Yes, but again, I have friends who like to troll, like myself, who just don't try as much. And then we all know what happens. We all start from the bottom. And by the way, if you fall off, unless you don't if you don't put yourself a checkpoint, which will suck, you have to restart. You have to go all the way from the beginning. Okay?
The whole thing over again.
Yep. So that game, somebody beat it. I think the record was like, somebody beat the game. I Show Speed, I don't know if you heard of him. He beat the game in 12 hours. That says a lot. Yep. So, yeah, that's the game. So, how should we do this? Now, we're on Discord. So, do you want me to broadcast my screen and then we just do it from there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, we're doing NASCAR because, me and you are NASCAR fans, obviously. Silly goose. Who never thought? Let's go on tierlist.com. Okay, I'll show my screen when I get my doohickey situated. I'm going to throw out a couple of categories of NASCAR, and we can get to a agreement on what to do. Now, the easiest, well, we can't do NASCAR paint schemes because number one, not everybody's going to know what paint scheme we're talking about. And 2, that will be weird just with audio. So we're not going to do paint schemes on this podcast because it'll be kind of weird unless people are going to search it up. I have a couple ideas. First idea is we do NASCAR tracks, which is a cool idea because everyone, if this is going on Spotify, YouTube and such, people should get kind of an idea what the tracks are in NASCAR if they like NASCAR, unless they're posers. Which I'm not saying your fans are posers, but I'm just saying, we could do tracks. We already did video games. NASCAR drivers, we could do that. Even though we did do this like 2 years ago with the drivers, it has been a couple of years. And my opinion has changed on a couple drivers. So, do you want to do tracks or do you want to do drivers? And that would be funny if we do drivers because we could, in a kindly manner, talk crap about a couple drivers. But it's up to you because it's your podcast, your viewers. What do you want to do?
Drivers.
Okay. You want the bad side of me, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, this is the deal. When we do a tier list, we both have to mutually agree on a position. Okay? So let's say you hate or you love Joey Logano and I hate him. We got to put him in the middle. We both have to agree on a position. Okay? Now, are we doing this on the way how good they are, or are we doing it how much we like or dislike them? I think like or dislike will make things interesting.
Like or dislike.
Okay. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, I'm so scared. I am so scared.
Should be.
Here. Okay. So, okay, you see my wonderful. Okay. So obviously, people that are watching or listening to this will be you'll hear the audio. Obviously, we're just gonna be talking love or hate about some drivers. Let's go to 2024 NASCAR Cup Series. Let's go. Okay, here we go. We got a good amount of drivers here. Okay, let's go F11 here so we can get a good screen. Okay, first driver. Oh, good start, Denny Hamlin. All right, what do you think about Denny Hamlin?
Oh, Jesus Christ. So for Denny Hamlin, okay, I like his driving style. What I don't like is his arrogance and his bragginess. Is bragginess even a word? Or the
Oh
way
yeah,
he
coming
brags?
from a guy who hasn't won a championship.
Pretty much. And he chokes when he has a chance to win the championship. Essentially,
Which is a great thing.
when it's there, 2010 and 2019, well, 2019, it wasn't his fault, but 2010, it was his fault when he sideswiped into Greg Biffle on lap 24, and that cost him the championship in 2010 right then and there. But to my point, he gets to win the championship, and he chokes every time when he's so close. But for Denny Hamlin, regardless, I have neutral respect. Like, I like him, but at the same time, don't like him because, again, his arrogance.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's the problem, okay? I dislike him, but I'll give him props. He has definitely made NASCAR enjoyable to watch and not enjoyable to watch.
Which he has.
I'll give him that. He does make the sport exciting, either in a great way or a bad way. Do I like his personality that much? No. Do I generally think he's a good guy? Yes, I genuinely do. But when I see him on the track and he's in second place or he's in first place, I get pissed. And I go on my phone. So, for Denny Hamlin, I even though I would like to put him in dislike, even though I hate to say this, I'll put him in neutral. I agree to a point. Okay. Next driver. We all know and love Ryan Blaney. I think we should put him in, like, if we're going to be honest here, he's a great guy. He's the type of guy you would like to have a beer with on a Sunday night, you know?
Agreed. He's likable, so I put him there.
He is the one Penske driver for the longest time until Austin Cindric came around, which I respect him. But when it was Brad, Logano, and Blaney, he was the only Penske guy I liked. Okay.
Fun fact: Ryan Blaney, when he won Pocono both times, 2017 and recently, I was there. I was there to see it with my own eyes. I was there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually do like Blaney. I think he's a great driver. I think he's a likable person. He actually has a personality, not like a couple of these drivers, which we will mention. But yeah, I think Blaney is a good guy. We'll put him in the like tier. Now, by the way,
here is the question: is Ryan Blaney deserving of last year's championship?
No. Yes, I'll say no.
You say William Byron is more deserving, or someone else?
Yes. Byron. If we're talking about who has been the best all season, Byron.
Agreed. And Bryce would.
But Blaney, was I happy that Blaney won over Hamlin? Absolutely. So that closes the deal.
Well, Hamlin wasn't in the championship for regardless, so.
Yeah. By the way, for the people at home or the people that are watching or listening to this podcast, the tiers are favorite, which is the best, like, which is like you like, neutral, which is like dislike, and then why the fuck are they on the track? Okay. Now I have a couple drivers that are on this list that are gonna be on why the fuck are they on the track, which we'll get to.
I know who that someone is, but let's go with Chase Briscoe first. Chase Briscoe.
Okay. Here's the thing about Chase Briscoe. The only thing I think about when I think about Chase Briscoe is the commercials with him on the tractor for Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart, yes, those are hilarious. But as far as on the track, he's
okay. He's okay. I mean, as a personality, he's likable. But do I want him on the same tier as Denny Hamlin? That, you know what? He's on dislike. I don't give a because I can't have. No. It doesn't say hate. Okay. It's his dislike. We both dislike him. We have respect, but we dislike him. Okay,
Yes.
shut up. I'll put Chase Briscoe in neutral. I like him, but he's okay. I don't have not really any feelings towards him. But I think he's like a guy. He seems swell. He's probably a guy that will I'll ask for him to mow my lawn.
As for the next one, AJ Allmendinger.
I like.
Same.
Like he's a likable guy, honestly. Loved him when he was in the 47, and
Same.
he's always been a cool guy to watch when he's on road courses.
Most notably,
he's a
when he
likable
won
dude.
Watkins Glen 10 years ago.
Yep, he's a likable dude. Really, he truly is, and I have a lot of respect towards AJ, and he's always been a likable guy. Never had beef with him.
Same.
All right, Chris Buescher.
Or Christopher Buescher, that some would say. He's likable.
Yeah, I give him likable. I mean, was it necessary for him to cry after a race? I mean, I get it. I can understand where he was coming from with Larson with the closest finish in NASCAR history. I can understand. I would probably cry too. But
wait, he literally
I think it was the closest of all time, or I think in Cup Series history. I think
it is.
But I would. I don't know. A lot of people were mixed about him like being crying after the not cry, but tearing up after losing. I think Chris Buescher would
literally teared up.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, or he was like upset. But I feel like though with Chris Buescher, I generally like him. He's a good guy. He has a good heart, and I wish him well. He's the type of guy that I'll share almond milk with. Okay.
Next is NTJ.
Martin Truex Jr. I'll put him in favorite. I think so. Either him or like. I like Truex. I always like Truex. Never had a problem with him, even though when he wrecked Busch at the Indy race a couple of years ago. We don't talk about that, but he's a nice guy. He's the guy that I like to go fishing with. What do you think about Truex?
Literally because his sponsor is Bass Pro Shops.
But yeah, I mean, I'll put Truex in. I think since we both like him and I think he's more likable.
Nowadays he is 2017 and 18.
Yeah. I'll put him in favorite. I think that would work for both of us. And then maybe when we get through the list, we'll definitely move some guys down. Like, of course, we moved Hamlin down to dislike. But yeah, next is Christopher Bell. I'll put him in. What do you think about Christopher Bell? My opinion, he's a great driver, but I really think he's a neutral tier because he doesn't really have much of a personality.
Well, as far as his on-track performance, likable.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give him likable, but he's kind of like in the middle between like and neutral, my opinion.
In the middle.
But yeah, respect. Huge respect. Huge respect.
Harrison Burton.
Why the fuck are they on the track? He's the same guy with Ty Gibbs, but at least with Ty Gibbs, he has shown that he belongs on the track, even though I hate to admit it. Harrison Burton is going on the tier. Why the fuck are they on the track? Because again, he has made no progress. And he's with the Wood Brothers, which I get are not the best team. But again, we're not in, what's his face, Spire. Even though they're probably on the same tier. Let's be real here with teams. So, yeah.
To your point, he's only had one top 5 and 5 top 10s in 95 starts.
Yeah. Why are you on the track? Next is somebody who we all know and love. I don't like. Joey Logano.
It's everybody we all love.
I'm gonna be honest. Recent Joey Logano, last year or so, he hasn't really been a pain in the ass when it comes to wrecking the field. But I'm talking about like mid 2010s. He was a
which he was.
But recently, I think we should put him in neutral.
Agreed.
Okay, Bubba Wallace. I like saying his name, Bubba. I'll put he's a drummer. I'm a drummer.
I see why you put him in the tier list.
No. You know what? Do I think he's a little bit of a crybaby? Yes.
Yes.
Does he? Does he have a little bit of controversy behind his back? Yes.
Yes.
But as of my experience, he's a likable personality for the most part. He's a good driver. He just has some bad luck, or he's just not good half sometimes, which I can understand. We all have those races. We all have those times where we're not good, whatever. But I think he's a good fit for NASCAR, and I appreciate him. I actually do root for him occasionally. So Bubba Wallace, I'll put him in he's a likable guy. Well, you agree, right? Likable.
I do.
Oh, Austin Cindric. The last time we heard about Austin Cindric goes to the 500, and he did win a couple weeks ago, which was actually a good moment.
Neutral.
But neutral, yeah. Again, he doesn't fit with look. Why is look? Oh God, I can't have look. Oh, whatever. I may have to move Logano. I maybe. Justin Haley. Wait, no, that's not Justin Haley. I'm thinking about. Where's Justin Haley? There's Justin Haley. Let's do Justin Haley since we're on him. It's either why the fuck are they on the track or neutral? What do you think?
Neutral.
I think we put him in neutral. Yeah, he's doing good right now. Who is driving the 31 right now?
Daniel Hemrick.
This is like, why the fuck are they on the track?
Exactly.
He's good in a lower series, but kind of, but
not so much. Not so much.
Why the fuck are they on the track?
Exactly.
He seems chill though. Michael McDowell, I'll put him in likable. He's a good underdog. He's an underdog, and
if one of my friends who's a diehard Chastain fan, he would put him up in favorites without hesitation. Me though,
you know what?
He's likable.
You know what? Yeah, but I think
If this was last year or 2 years ago, I would put Chastain in dislike. Why?
Yeah, but I think after the hill.
Why? Too aggressive. Way over aggressive.
Yep. But he has personality, and by that, and he's the Hell Melon was legendary, and he's a likable guy, like he is. So I'll put him in Todd Gilliland, neutral, or why the fuck are they on the track? What do you think? I think I'll put him in neutral. What do you think?
Neutral.
Austin Dillon, why the fuck are they on the track?
No question. Next.
But I'll give Dillon some credit. Is he a likable person? Yes. Did he help bring Kyle Busch to RCR? Yes. And I respect him for that. But I think he's last place in the point standings. If I'm corrected, he's like one of the last drivers in the point standings, which is not a good look. Ryan Preece. Why the fuck are they on the track?
Yes.
Do you think that's a good point?
Yes.
Put him there.
Yes.
Yep. Is this Hocevar, right?
No, Hocevar is 77. This is John Nemechek here.
It's Nemechek. Yeah, my bad. Put him neutral.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick, likable. I think he's likable.
He's actually one of my favorites.
You put him in favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Put him in likable. I mean, he is a good driver. I don't know. I'll put him in likable. I would say I'll put Blaney in favorite over Reddick or AJ. My opinion. Just my opinion. But, maybe. We'll see what happens. We all know who Stenhouse is going at. He's wondering why the fuck.
Why the hell?
Yeah, why the fuck are they on the track?
Next.
Ty Gibbs. Either dislike or neutral.
Neutral.
I already speak. Yeah. I mean, he's been good in the Cup Series. He's been a good boy.
Whoa.
I didn't mean it like that, but bro. He looks. Bro. Dude, he looks like a how old is he? 20? He's like 19, right?
Incredibles. He's about to be 22.
Gosh, man.
Next is
I respect Tiger. You know what? He's been a good guy in the Cup Series. He hasn't been a pain in the ass, even though I like what he wrecks.
Next is
he hasn't been a pain in the ass. I'll put him in like or favorite.
Same. Me, likable.
Likable, yeah. Okay,
Jones.
Eric
You already
Jones.
know my answer.
Why the
Top,
why
top,
the oh,
top, 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 top,
oh,
top, top,
well, here's the thing. I'll make a deal with you.
top,
If you put Kyle Busch in favorite, then fine.
top, top. Thank you.
Here's my opinion. In my opinion, you're gonna hate me on this, but I think he should be why the fuck are they on the track? That's just my opinion.
I can.
Do you agree with that statement?
Because his performance is mediocre. But considering I'm an Eric Jones fan, I'm biased. Yes, with that, with the favorites.
Okay. You know,
He is my
I
favorite.
think for that, I think we have to compromise here. Let's be real here.
But realistically speaking,
Can we put him in likable? Should we put him in likable or neutral? Just by the fact that he's either why the fuck he's like in the middle. Be real here. I think we should put him in like because I have no problem with him.
he's likable. Yes.
So I'll put him in like
Alex
Bowman. He likes to party. And I like that.
Neutral for me.
Yeah. But he does party though, so I give him that.
Zane Smith. Neutral.
Yeah. Nothing.
Josh
Berry, likable. Junior's
Byron,
boy.
Favorite.
Yeah, Junior's boy.
Favorite.
I respect him as a driver, but here's the thing about Byron. No personality, really. Am I wrong? Can you agree with me on that? Like he's not. He's just kind of like had a good race today. I want to thank my sponsors. He's like AI. Do you? Would you be okay if he goes into like? Because I have no problems with Byron. And I respect his driving ability. I generally think that he is a great driver and he's one of the best. But I think since he has no personality, there's nothing you can relate to him about. I'll put him in like, all right, Donkey. We all know where Donkey's gonna be. Either in recently, I'll put him in neutral. I would put him in dislike, but I'll put him in neutral. Donkey has moved up from dislike to neutral.
Me, it's likable.
You know what? When he won a couple weeks ago, that was a good moment. I'll give him that.
That was Darlington, Mother's Day weekend.
Yep. But the thing is, I can't. I look back at the memories when he called Kyle Busch an ass, even though.
Yeah, 2010. We're still in the summer race.
Hocevar, I think we put him in likable or neutral.
Okay, I am. I know a few people who are huge Carson Hocevar fans and are probably going to put them pitchforks out at me when I say this, but I'm sorry, but why the hell is he on the track? Now, hear me out. My opinion, he's rushed. He completely skipped the Xfinity level. This is Spy Motorsports, of course, but he's a rookie. I know that. But has he really done anything in the Cup Series this year? In my opinion, he hasn't. And Zane Smith, he got into it with somebody. Retaliated.
Is Zane Smith the he's the one that's been doing good, right? Inspire, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he actually finished second to Joey Logano at Nashville. Now that I think about it.
Okay, well he should have won. So, all right. All right, put him in why the fuck are they on the track? All right, well we all know where Corey LaJoy's going.
For those Hocevar fans, especially to those who I know who are big Hocevar fans, I'm sorry, I really am, but it's just my opinion. And we're gonna go into the next one. Again,
LaJoy, he's going out. Why the fuck are we on the track?
But it's just a fact. It's just the facts.
Corey LaJoy, well, it's going to be true, actually. Why the fuck are they on the track?
Let me guess, because of Pocono?
Well, that, and also he has no ride. So, yeah. And also, he has not been good in NASCAR in all three series. Mm-mm. He's been close to winning races. I'll give him that, like once or twice. But again, why is he in the sport? Like, except for his podcast and his personality, there's nothing to him when it comes to skill. I respect him, but you for wrecking Busch.
But back to Hocevar real quick. Back to Carson Hocevar.
Oh, God.
I like him. I do.
It seems like you don't. It seems like you have beef with him.
But at the same time, when you look at his performance, I don't know. I really don't know. I
All
really
right, all
don't
right.
know.
I'll put them. Why the fuck are they on the track? Okay.
Personality-wise,
Jimmy.
Hocevar is likable. Personality-wise, performance-wise, and on-track performance,
Yeah, I
it's a
can say the
different
same
story.
to Daniel Hemrick and like Harrison Burton and Ryan Preece. They're all like that. But again, why the fuck are they on the track?
But Hocevar is
Next
likable, though.
driver.
He is. I will give him credit for that. He is. Hocevar is a likable driver. Right. Moving on with Jimmy Johnson. Well,
I'll put him in favorite.
in today's
I would
standards,
either that or
in today's
well
standards,
he
in today's standards, why the hell
he
is he on the
fired his
track?
whole team. Yeah, yeah. You know what?
Again, in today's standards. But rewind the clock
But the thing is,
7
do you
years.
consider Jimmy Johnson like your favorite driver though?
Nowadays I do.
Like, what are your favorites?
Nowadays I do, but
That's because he ain't winning. That's why.
several years ago I didn't because, well, he won so damn much.
Yeah, but he respected for him, honestly.
But
Him and Chad did it,
nowadays, since
Dynasty.
2015, 2016, he's one of my favorites now.
Well, here's the thing. There's a rumor that remember when he had that huge wreck at Pocono when he hit the wall hard?
In 2017, I was there.
Yeah. Yep. After that, he has not won a race since. And people say that wreck f***ed him up.
Big time. And I agree. I agree.
So I'll put him why the fuck are they on the track, but as a drive, I would put him in likable or favor as like a personality wise, and I mean the amount of respect that he has through the years. But why the fuck are they on the track?
Yes.
And now you're probably saying, "Oh, what about Kyle Busch?"
7 years, 8 years, that would be a different story. We would put Jimmy Johnson a lot higher.
Yeah, but I'll probably put him in likable back then because he won too much and I got sick of it.
Same. Bryce, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sorry, but it's the fact. It's the fact.
People, and I always say this. I think Jimmy Johnson was a likable driver, a lot of respect for his driving abilities. He's won 7 championships, tied with the most of all time.
And Dale Earnhardt.
Yep. But the thing about Johnson, the reason why people don't like him is because maybe I like that we see a Lowe's commercial.
It's funny because
that's funny.
Sponsor.
Yeah, but besides people don't like him because maybe he was like a little too arrogant, but maybe and also because he won so much. But that's not really a reason why to not like him. You should respect him because of that. But
exactly,
I can understand why people don't like him.
Now let me ask you a question.
Now I know.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Who is NASCAR's true GOAT? Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, or Jimmy Johnson?
Well, it's not Johnson. Now here's why. Johnson, he's won his championships with the chase format.
Which he has.
Okay.
All 7 of them.
Yes. I think if it was different point standings from like the 90s where it was actually a little bit more,
so basically the Winston Cup format.
Legitimate. Yeah. I think that he definitely would have won a championship, like multiple, but I don't think he would have won 7. But again, I wish it was back to the old rule set because Bush would have won a 500 by now, but we don't talk about that. But what I generally think if it comes to driving ability, I would say Earnhardt. But when it comes to the stats alone, I'll go with Petty. Now, people do say he did not get 200 wins and he has 199. Because one race, apparently, they gave it to Petty, even though it was not really confirmed.
It was illegitimate. In other words, it wasn't legal.
But
in other words, it wasn't legal.
I will go with Petty. Even if he had 199 wins, he has most records in NASCAR compared to every other driver. So I'll give it to Petty. But Earnhardt second, Jimmy Johnson third.
Agreed.
But
agreed.
Yep. And we can't forget about Jimmy Johnson save at Dover. We can't forget about that.
And Jimmy Johnson's winning at Dover 11 times.
Yeah, and that save that he did in practice.
Which practice makes perfect, and more often than not, on 83 occasions, Jimmy Johnson has came out on top.
Yep, he's the king of Dover, as we wrote here.
Exactly.
Even though
Petty stats,
we can't think about that nowadays.
Richard Petty stats is mind-boggling. Obviously, 200 wins, 555 top fives, 712 top tens, 123 pole positions. That is mind-boggling.
That is crazy. I generally think that Johnson is one of the best of all time, but do I think he's better than Earnhardt or Petty? No. I think Petty is, even though that was a different time in NASCAR, I think Petty is the GOAT.
Yes, he is.
Because his stats say otherwise. You know, his stats say it. So now I know what you're going to say. We're going to Kyle Busch now. Now, I would put him in favorite because, again, he's my favorite. But I can see why people would say, why the fuck are they on the track?
Wait a minute. Speaking of Kyle Busch, you remember he won California 5 years ago when he got his so-called 200 wins?
Yep.
What was going through your mind? Did you say that Kyle Busch was the greatest of all time in that moment, or did you?
Okay. Okay.
Kyle Busch go ban.
When it comes to Cup Series, I don't think he's the greatest of all time. Do I think he's top 5? Yes. Top 10? Absolutely. But when it comes to all 3 series, he is the GOAT. In all 3 series. Like, if you combine all 3 series, he is the GOAT.
So you combine.
But when it comes to Cup Series alone, he's not the GOAT. But when it comes to all 3 series, like if we combine all 3 series, like Johnson wasn't really good in the Xfinity Truck Series. Earnhardt, I mean, not really. You know, Petty, not really. So by the fact is, Busch is better than all of them in those 3 series. But when it comes to Cup Series, obviously that goes to Petty and Earnhardt and Johnson.
There you go.
So back to Kyle Busch. I'll put him in favorite, but that's just me. Favorite or like, because me and you both have to agree to it. But I can see why people will put him in. Why the fuck are they on the track? Do I think that a little bit is on Kyle when it comes to his performance? Yes. Do I think that a lot of it has to do with his equipment? Yes. Absolutely. Do I think a little bit has to do with his mistakes on the track? Absolutely. But we can't forget about what he has done for the sport when it comes to great moments. You know, he's been in a lot of viral moments. He's great moments on the track, underdog stories of when he was injured and he won the championship that same season. I think because of that, he should be likable.
Agreed.
I think either that or favorite, because Busch, as of right now, as of August 5th, 2024, he is not having a good season. Okay, he's not.
And how do you feel?
If this isn't a couple,
as a Kyle Busch fan, how do you feel?
I just like, okay, so you know, like the dad after coming home from work all day, and you just like, you're so depressed, and you just have a sip of beer, you just look at a TV while it's like all and you're just not giving a. That is me right now, because like I've been so upset with the situation. You know, like it's either he's either doing really well and then he wrecks himself, or bad luck just happens to him.
And that's been
like he would have had a top 10. He would have had a top 10 at Indy. He would have, but he was being aggressive with Hamlin. And I'll admit it was Busch's fault. It wasn't Hamlin's fault. I'll give it that. But it's just kind of weird for me to put Busch at likable and Johnson not. But I think if Busch is like this for another couple of seasons, then I would put him in why the fuck they're on the track, even though I would hate to admit it. I'll put him in like.
Agreed. Now, if we wanted the clock to you.
Even though he's my favorite driver.
We wanted the clock to you earlier. I'll put him in dislike. And I well, that's because you. I mean, let's be real here. Like, you didn't like him because he was a Joe Gibbs equipment, and also the fact that he. You gotta be honest. When he was a Joe Gibbs, he. No offense. He was
except for me. No offense. He was a sore loser. Dude, if you watch, there was a documentary made of him called Rowdy, and he admits, he's like, I love to win. If I don't win, I get upset. And I get that. I respect him because even though it's not a good look, he cares about the sport as much that he would be upset if he did not win, even though that's a good or bad thing. Even though he's my favorite driver, I'll put him in like, because even though you would put him in like, and we can both agree, you would probably put him in neutral. Maybe.
I actually like him. He's grown on me ever since his move to RCR.
Yeah, because you know why? I think it's because number one, he's in a Chevy team and everyone loves Chevy and everyone hates Toyota. Two, he's not winning as much, so everyone feels sympathetic. And three, he's in the A car. Now I saw a Twitter post a couple years ago when he won his first race with RCR. He's like, imagine people cheering Kyle Busch in an A car in a Chevy car back in 2008. Imagine what people would think about that. You know, like imagine people after 2008 Richmond. Yeah, imagine you tell people from that race from 2008 Richmond. Yeah, Kyle Busch. Yeah, people started to like him now. He's won at he's out with the A car at RCR, and people like him now. People will be like, what the f? Like, you know? Next is Suarez. Now, I like him as a personality, but I don't like him because he's f***ed up Bush twice. Like, I'll put him in like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's good for the sport. But God, Daytona, he just had to wreck, or you know what I'm saying? He just had to wreck. And he screwed him for the freaking photo finish. Chase Elliott, likable, even though people call him Mickey Mouse. Likable. He's a great driver, talented.
Chase Elliott is one of my favorites. Chase Elliott's one of my favorites.
I'll put him in like, I'll put him in high like. I'll put him like I'll put him like Mike Bush, Blaney, Allmendinger, and everybody else. But yeah, I agree.
And last but most certainly not least, Noah Gragson.
I think I actually like him. I like him over Ty Gibbs, so I can't have him on the same tier as Ty Gibbs. I'm sorry.
We'll put him in like
I'll put him in like 2, but like barely there. So that's our list. Yeah, that's our list. I keep on hearing beeping noises. Is that like the video?
Yeah, I'm hearing a beeping noise.
Yeah, it's not coming from me, I don't think. But oh man, that was crazy. That was a great little segment called the Tier List Special.
Exactly.
Yep. And it was crazy because like me and you have known each other for so long, and we stayed in touch after all these years. It's just crazy how we met each other at a NASCAR store, and we just like, hey, yep, and you're like, hey, what's up? And you started talking about NASCAR, and I'm like, who are you? But then we started talking about like NASCAR, and then rest is history.
Exactly, and look at us now.
Yep, I am in a video of Turd 4.
Numerous videos.
Dreams come true. Dreams come true.
You good?
But I'm good. I was messing around. But yeah, it was great. It's great having me, in this podcast. I don't know how long has this podcast been for? Like 3 hours?
This one has been going on for at least over 2 hours.
Damn.
Dude, there was a podcast that I did recently that was over 6 hours long.
Yeah, bro. Like I can't. Oh my God. That's crazy. Respect. I'm sorry, but I don't know if I could do a 6-hour school day podcast. That's just me.
One of my friend Bryce, we were on for that long. When you get Bryce passionate about NASCAR and other things, even with movies, TV shows, mainly with NASCAR and other forms of motorsport, he would go on for hours upon hours on end. And one of the recent podcasts that's over 6 hours long, it clearly shows.
Yep.
It clearly
I
showed.
mean, to the people that are listening to this, who are watching this wonderful podcast, if you guys disagree with my opinions,
Our opinion.
suck it. I'm just kidding. We'll all just have different opinions. Don't hate on the people. Respect the people.
Thank you.
That is my end quote. But yeah, also for people that are listening to this, there will be another kind of video. It'll be on my channel. I don't know if Turf4 is gonna put the link in it, but whatever. It's gonna be another tier list on either NASCAR or probably another NASCAR tier list. That'll be really cool. If you guys I don't care if you subscribe, because again, my videos are either NR 2003 plushie videos or me raging at my computer. Stupid shit.
Please.
If you want to see stupid,
getting over it, please. Getting over it.
When my voice fully recovers, I don't know if you guys tell by the podcast, but my voice is a little. But I've been so enjoying this podcast. Oh, because I went to a Limp Bizkit concert.
And how did that go with all that yelling and screaming you did?
It was my first metal concert, so I was in the pit, kind of, and I got shoved around a little bit, and I don't know if you know the song Break Stuff, but then when that came on, my voice kind of just went off. Yeah, that was a great day. So
albeit with a broken voice box afterwards.
Yep. And it's it is what it is, but you can't. It won't ruin the day that I had. So, it is what it is.
As long as you had fun, that's the most important thing.
Yep. So yeah, if you guys want to see stupid shit on my channel, which is some of it's kind of like South Park related, where we just say the most stupid shit that we obviously don't meant. And then we have normal videos of I have a series called the NR 2003 Cup Series, which is on its 2-week break because of the Cup Series, which Turn4 Productions is actually a part of. Yes, I know, shocking, I know. He drives a 77 Budweiser car. I feel bad for you because you almost won at Raceway Beta, that really small track, and you hit the wall.
God damn it.
Yeah, that was like a couple months ago. I mean, yeah, he drove the 77 Budweiser. Of course, he drove the 77 because of his Eric Jones, because he drove the 5-hour Energy. And
the rookie in the Cup Series and won Rookie of the Year. Should have won the Bristol Mountain Race, but that's just me.
Yep, he's still looking for his win in the series. We'll be racing this week. Actually this week, this weekend I think, or depending on how I do. But yeah, if you guys want to see stupid shit, subscribe if you want. I don't post as much as people want me to, because again, if I record videos if I want to record them.
Same.
It's not a job for me.
Same.
If I'm not in the mood, I'm not doing it.
Same.
That's why the NR 2003 Ready Cup Series, where it's maybe a week. I try to post every Sunday. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to record or whatever. But that series will be complete. Don't worry. I know a lot of people are saying that I don't complete my series. Shut up. I know. But I'll try to. I already did season 1. I got to finish season 2. But
season 2, a work in progress.
Yeah, it's almost done. I think we're almost to the chase or playoffs, whatever they're called nowadays.
Oh, well, me, I the chase because I'm old school. So.
Yeah, I mean.
One last thing. Yeah. Before I say anything else, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying, dude. If you ever do a NR 2003 Sim series, I want to be a part of it. That's all I have to say.
So like a series.
Yeah, like the AI go on like what I do. Like a couple other channels do it, like the Gatorade Cup Series. A couple other channels. They basically there's actually a website because I don't do points by myself. I actually do it on a website. It's called NR 2003 Weebly. There's a scoring tab where you can put all the exports of all the races, because after you finish a race, you export them. Like you save it to your computer, like the stats, and you put it on. You select all the races, and it will tell you the points in that points format. They have it for the chase. They have it for playoffs, the Winston Cup, and all that stuff.
Wow! Wait, this is for NR 2003. Is it also for NR 2002 as well as NASCAR Racing 4 and earlier
Ooh,
years?
maybe. I'm not gonna say no, but probably. If there's an export import feature to finish a race, I think so. Um, but yeah, for when it comes to NO 2003, yeah, there is a way so you can get your point standings without even doing the math, which is something that was the reason why I started the series, because I'm not doing math every single week. Let's be real here.
Same. I'm horrible at math. Horrible.
And the cool thing about about at least I know some series they do like the actual tracks and they don't change it up. I have Rainbow Road, I have DK Mountain, I have a couple super speedways. I don't know if you ever heard of Thornton, the most iconic track in NO 2003 history.
Thornton.
That is on there. It's just a great time. So yeah, what were we gonna say before? What were we gonna say before I was blabbing about NO 2003 for the 50,000th time?
Well, what now that you bring that up, NR 2003, you say if I do start up a series, you without hesitation want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So that's two people that want to be a part of it without hesitation, because you remember recalling the 2004 Daytona 500 documentary that you were in. Do you
Yeah.
also remember that Jessica Strauss was also in that?
Yeah. I think we were in the middle. I think we're in call together, if I was not mistaken.
You both were. You both were. She's in the league, multiple leagues in our 2003, and 9 times out of 10, without hesitation, she will be a part of my series of the NO 2003, whenever that will be, either NO 2003, 2002, or earlier NASCAR games from the Papyrus era.
Yeah. I mean, if I do decide to do season 3, I'll ask Jessica because I know her. I could just ask, and she'll probably say yes.
Matter of fact, if you still do the league, you can ask Jessica right now, and she'll probably 9 times out of 10, without hesitation.
Yeah, she'll probably say yes. She'll probably say yes.
More than
I mean, the thing is, and the cool thing about it is that I don't like. I made your own paint scheme. I made the other 2 people. I made like a couple other people's paint scheme, except for one of them. But yeah. I mean, I'm not the best when it comes to paint scheme designs, but like
me either.
So
whenever I do a series of my own regarding NO 2003 or earlier NASCAR games from the Papaya series, 2 people are already locked in. It's Jessica.
And the cool thing about it is that like, let's say if I want to do my own custom paint scheme, I could just send you the template and you just upload it to your game.
Sorry?
So for example, okay, so if let's say you're doing the Gen 4, I'm probably going to assume you're going to do Gen 4 if you start a series. Let's be real here, right?
I am the Winston Cup cars from 2003 if I'm playing NO 2003.
Okay, so let's say I want to do a custom, like let's say I request to do a custom paint scheme of my car, like it has my sponsors, promotes the channel, whatever. I'll send you the template of my paint scheme, and what you do is you go on the game and you go to roster of those cars, and you just make a new driver, and you can and the thing that I send you, you can put that on the paint scheme.
The whole rendering.
Yeah, like the whole car, yeah.
And when I slap that on, it's there on the car.
Yep. Like I made a couple paint schemes over my time. I made the Rowdy 81 car. I made a couple Kiss paint schemes, which I'm actually really proud of. A Nirvana one, which is pretty cool. As you guys know, I'm a music fan. I'm a drummer, so I like hitting things with sticks. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do a season 3. Maybe I will do a season 3. I probably will. It's just the thing about that. It's just like I'd like to do every Sunday. And when I did the first season, it was easy because I wasn't commentating. Even though commentating is great when it comes to doing a video for the NRL Times Rowdy Cup Series because it builds more excitement to it. It also it kind of limits it because again, like if you're in a house filled with people, and let's say they're having a party or whatever, it's kind of hard to record it. And let's say if somebody needs you, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But again, like the first season, I look back at the first season of it, it's like it's not as exciting because again, there's no commentary. But now season 2, I have commentary, so you can hear me screaming when shit happens. When cars are going flying all over the place.
Oh man, so season 1 had no commentary, but now season 2 has commentary.
Yeah, if I do continue, if I continue the series, I would definitely like to have more people. I mean, do I expect to have a whole roster filled with people? No, I do want a mixture of Cup guys and drivers. You're in it. My cousin's in it. My other friends in it. But if I could get a couple more people, that'd be cool. But again, I don't know if I'll do it. But if I do, if I want more people, I could ask you, be like, hey, ask your friends who wants to be part of the series. Just say what number, what
I already
sponsor,
know
whatever.
someone who is interested. Or
Yeah, and
more than
we
likely will
both
say
know her.
yes. What?
Yeah, we both know them, Jessica.
Exactly. So at some point, I'll bring it up.
I'll reach out. I'll reach it out. I'll reach it out because I know them on social
You
media.
still
I have
keep
them
in touch
added.
though, right?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally. I mean, I have not like. I'm gonna be honest. Even when it comes to school, like when I was in school, I only been talking to a few people recently because obviously when you leave school, it's kind of like know who your friends are, but you also know who you're not. Like you're more acquaintance with.
Yes.
You
So
know.
what you're saying is when you're done school and the friends that you made in school, some of them stick with you, whilst others either just kick you to the curb or just move on with their life.
Yeah, and I respect. I respect it because again, like it's whatever. Uh, but I'm just again, I'm recently I'm a lot more shy with people,
Same.
which is the way I am. So it's kind of hard, but I mean, it's whatever. I mean, if you get to know me, I'm cool, like you know me. So like I'm a little bit more outgoing, but you know, it it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't see my channel as a job. I just do it for fun. If
Same.
I do get popular, then I'll obviously be more serious about it. But right now, I'm just doing it for fun, and obviously that's what you're doing. And obviously, your videos, you edit your videos a lot more better than I do. Even though now I'm starting to learn the actual editing techniques. But
If you
you
have
know,
Windows, right?
yeah, I use CapCut. It's a free software. Uh,
CapCut works too. Even though I never once used CapCut, but I'm presuming for you it does the job.
yeah, not bad.
Me personally, I use DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut for my videos.
Yeah, did you cost? I know a lot of editing softwares are like a lot of money.
More so Final Cut, since that costs, I think, $200, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, that.
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, if you want to do it as a job, yeah, but like at the same time, it's like if you're, you know,
Because, dude, that's
if
the
you're,
software that I used when I was in video and web production class. That was the software that I used. And
yeah,
since then, I've been into video editing that way, more the advanced editing, so to say. Because back then I had an iPad and YouTube Capture and whatnot, simple stuff. But ever since I took video and web production class 5 years ago, my videos that you see on my Turn 4 Productions content, it's what you see now from, again, the
yeah.
stuff I've learned from video and web production class. That's
Now,
what you
quick
see
question.
and how much that I've
What?
grown throughout the years as far as my formatted videos are concerned. Started from the bottom,
Now,
slowly working my way up.
Now, quick question. What are some races that you want to cover from NASCAR on your channel?
Like a live reaction or
Like a documentary?
oh Daytona 500 documentary for next year?
It doesn't have to be Daytona. I'm talking about like it could be any race
Okay.
that you that like what are some like documentary? It doesn't have to be Daytona. It could be like Bristol, it could be whatever. Like it could be like a documentary on a certain race or a certain event.
Well,
What are some ideas that you have in mind?
this is some that Bryce had brought up to me not too long ago. And he suggested or recommended that we can do, well, I wouldn't say recommended, but he threw an idea at me out there saying that one day we should cover up the 1992 Hooters 500, the season finale of the 1992 Winston Cup season. The same race
I
that
agree.
Alan Kawicki won the championship, Richard Petty made his last start, Jeff Gordon made his first start. So
Yep,
Bryce
that
threw that
actually.
idea. He threw that idea out there for me to do at some point, which I have in mind. However, I'm not sure
Dude,
when to do it though, because personal life, this podcast station, and I have a YouTube project in the works regarding some Formula One related that's regarding to the Red Bull racing team. And also, I have voiceovers done from a few of my friends that have done voiceovers for a few of my F1 projects, one of them being a NASCAR one. Not sure when those will come out since I've yet to edit those. I'm trying to take it as low as possible to save my laptop storage space as much as possible because I don't want it to mess it up. So I'm taking it slow, slow, slow and slow.
yep, and I agree. I mean, one that I would like you to do if you ever decide to do it is the 2007 Bristol race with the first race of the car tomorrow.
That one too. That one too.
Because number one, Bush won the race. Number two, it was the first COT race, and two and three, Bush says they suck. So
That's the one thing that I remember from that damn race. The
I
main
can't
thing, at
stop.
least.
I can't stand the way they drive. They suck, or whatever the hell he said.
Yep, he set that in victory lane in post race.
Yep, and he beat Burton.
Yep,
That was an interesting year.
only just his only win in 2007 and the last in Hendrick Equipment and Cup.
Yep, and then he rest is history.
With the Joe Gibbs, won numerous
And now he's
races,
with RCR.
and now he's with RCO. We all thought they was going to turn things around at RCO and become a championship contender. Look
I
where he's
really
at
generally
now.
think it's half of it. Half of it has to do with RCR equipment. You cannot deny it. It
You know what?
is
Let me ask you a
got half of
question.
it.
Bryce and we discussed this issue in episode 3. We said that RCR has never been good. Do you agree with
I
that statement?
disagree. I can understand because again, like you know, like who? What are some other RCR drivers that are big good except for Earnhardt and Harvick and Bush, if you could say it? Can't really think of any. It's like there's been some exceptional good ones. They maybe won a couple races or two, but not like Hendrick material. I agree to a
I
point,
can't
but again,
exactly.
Earnhardt won 6 championships with the team.
Yes, he did.
Harvick, he had great seasons with RCR.
Excluding his Busch
Some
Series championships. We're talking Cup here.
yeah. When it comes to Cup Series, he great driver. I mean, great driver for RCR. Some he had good seasons and he had a bad season, you know. But I think 05 was one of his worst seasons with RCR.
In 2004, because 04 he went winless that year. Same for 2008 and
Yeah,
2009. Those years too.
yeah. But again, Bush again as well. He
Excluding his
had
win
a
in the
great season.
shootout in 2009. Excluding that.
Yeah.
Because that's a
So it's
that race I don't count since that's a non-points race. To clear that up.
yeah.
But continue what you're saying, TJ.
So obviously, like Bush, he had a great season. Now he's not having a good season. Harvick, he had great seasons, but now he's having a good season. Earnhardt, well, it's Earnhardt. So I can understand why he may he may say that, and I agree. But I think RCR. I don't want to say they always sucked. I just don't think they were always good, and I'll say they're more like a mid card team. Not now because they have
So
Dylan on the team.
get the grade book out. You know how in school they give you a grade and it's an A plus, B.
I'll give RCR in the like 80s and 90s. I'll give them like an A minus, maybe even A plus a couple times. But when it comes to early 2010s or no early 2000s, I'll give them like a B. When it comes to 2010s, this is including late Harvick from RCR and Dylan era. I'll give it more like a C. I'll give him a C plus because Dylan won a couple races. 2020s, I'll give it a C. Nah, C plus. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I agree. What about US 21 and 22?
And when it was just Dylan, F. Like
Exactly.
Dylan is good at like restrictor plates. I'll give him that. He's a good guy. But why is
Wait a
he an
minute,
RCR
Reddick
still?
too. Reddick was there.
Oh yeah, I forgot Reddick. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was good. He had. Shut up. Okay, he's good. Okay, you remember Daniel Hamrick was in that car too? Like,
Yeah, 2019. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like just one top 5 and a few other top 10s. That's it. And won a pole.
Yeah, like Reddick was good. I'll get all right. Fine, I'll give him a D plus. Okay, happy.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding Daniel Hemrick, though, yes. One top 5 and just 2 top 10. So he had one top 5, the other being a top 10 finish. Out of 36 races run 5 years ago.
Dude, you know what's crazy?
2.5 average finish.
Dude, Daniel Hemrick should be in the Xfinity Series and Xfinity Series only.
Point proven. I mean, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more?
Nope. No, you don't even have to say more. You don't.
My point exactly. You know who else should be in the Xfinity level? Hocevar. Again.
Okay. Joe, relax. You've been attacking him all podcast long. Relax.
Wait, what?
But you've been attacking him all podcast long. You gotta relax.
I wouldn't say attacking him.
Put the pitchforks down. Put the pitchforks down.
I wouldn't say attacking him per se. I'm just making a point.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because how many drivers do you see go from the Truck Series to the Cup Series, skipping the Xfinity level?
Not a lot. I mean, Haley Deegan went from. Haley Deegan. Well, even though she didn't do that, but Haley Deegan though, like she had a LaJoy moment before a LaJoy moment.
You're going to the Xfinity Series that one race? I forget what race it was, but.
Well, Logano raced the car at Chicago.
And replaced Haley Deegan. You know it's bad when the Cup Series regular replaces you. You know it's bad.
Dude, you know what I just found right now?
What?
Oh my god, I don't know if we're gonna do all of them. Maybe we could do like a part 1 and part 2. I found a tier list of over 300 pace schemes from NASCAR's history, from the Gen 4, before in the 70s, and like all that shit. There's even Starcom Racing.
Holy shit! Let me see your screen.
Oh god. Let me see. Here, 3. There, I'll pull it up. This is something we could do in like a video, like maybe we do like a. I don't want to say tonight, but like in the future. Look at this shit. That's a lot.
Hold on. Let me click on the share screen. Hold on. It's still loading. It's still loading. It's still loading. It's still loading. Oh, oh, Mother of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of paint schemes.
I already know where some of them are going to be at.
Oh, oh,
I think.
oh. Um, looking at all this, yeah, we ain't doing this in one. We ain't doing this tonight. I can tell you that for sure. Given
Hell no,
how much,
hell no. Like we will do. This will be a video. We'll do like in another day or so if we want to do all of it in one video, which I think we could if we just like speed run a couple of them.
now we're doing
But
this on my channel or
I
yours?
think tonight. I mean, you know what we could do? We could both like screen record it, and we could both put it on both of our channels.
We
I mean,
can
if
do
you
that.
want to not cause any, you know, we could put it on your channel, put it on my channel. It benefits both of us, and
We can do that. We can do
whatever.
that.
Because let's be real here, some of your fans are not going to watch my content, so I'm just kidding. I'm messing around, but yeah. That'd be a good idea. So we don't have like a confrontation. Be like, hey, we should put it on
And
my channel.
This goes by number order, it looks like.
Yep. And there's a lot of college cards too. Ooh. They even have his last win with Joe Gibbs. That's cool. You know what I'm pissed that they don't have the Indiana Jones paint scheme from the Indiana Jones 2008 paint scheme when he won at Darlington. That should be on here. Yep, but
I don't
it's a good list. I mean, if we do
Ryan,
this, we
I
gotta
don't
do this.
see any Ryan Newman Autel or Mobile One paint schemes from back in the day. I don't see that.
I mean, I think it's a good list. I generally do.
Same.
I mean, it's probably the best one that we've seen. I mean, I'm looking at other ones. Like, I don't want to do like just 2020. Like, who cares? Who cares, right?
Especially because 2020 was that year.
Yeah. So I think if we decide to do this, we will have to do it like early during the day, around like 12, 1 o'clock, and we will probably finish around like 4 or 5 if we get lucky.
Give or take.
What the f is this cursed Napa 3 car? What the f?
That's Ron Hornaday.
I've never seen that one before.
That's Ron Hornaday from 2000.
Oh, of course. Of course. Ron Hornaday. I remember Ron Hornaday. The only thing I think about him was when Bush wrecked him.
Many people say that Ron Hornaday should have been in the 15 car instead of Michael Waltrip. Agree or disagree? Speaking of Michael Waltrip, 15 cars on here?
Yeah, I think so. Let me go to 15, 12, 14.
Yes, it is.
Yes, yeah, like one.
One.
But you know what? That's the only one that matters.
What about
okay?
What about any of his 55 cars? Yes, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, the jet fuel one. Mm-hmm.
The jet fuel one. So you've heard of that controversy, though.
Yep. That's so funny, though.
Hey,
of course, of all
what about his brother Daryl? Do they have a 66 ride?
They also have Jimmy Johnson's like his debut car. They also have what's his face? I actually do love Dale Jr.'s amp car from like 2008, 2009. It just looks so cool. I love the green on it.
Agreed. Same for 2010.
This is gonna be an interesting list.
Agreed.
I think what we will wait. Do they have any Kyle Busch 5
cars?
Nah.
I don't see any.
Oh, beeswax, whatever. They're all in S tier, in my opinion. Just kidding. But yeah. Let's we will definitely do this in the coming weeks. We will definitely do this. But when it comes to the video that we'll probably do after this podcast, we'll probably do like a track tier list. Hopefully, I can find a 2024 one. If so, that would be great. But
Tony Stewart now.
Yeah, that seems let me see that one. 89. See, why did I not have this for Kyle Busch? That's my question. That's actually cool. No, actually, let me see. Let me see. They have his primary paid schemes, but uh, Kyle Busch paint schemes, Busch Series, primary. Why? Uh, eh. Okay, so they give Tony Stewart the treatment, but not me. Okay, I see how it is.
Well, it was
Favoritism.
primarily 8,
You know
9,
what? I'm gonna be
10,
honest.
12,
2014, 2014 is the peak Eminem's car. It was so cool.
agreed. Though, in my opinion, it is the 2008 one. The
Oh yeah, that
OG.
one.
The
The
OG.
OG. Yep, I'll give you that one. I also love the 2012.
Same.
That
Same.
was
That
sick as
and the
well.
2012 one. The one he won the Bud shootout in.
Yep. 2013 was pretty cool. 2015 obviously has history. They should have had the 2022 one, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do this, but yeah. I mean, I generally think this was a great podcast. You know, we were just talking about dumb shit, NASCAR, emulators, wrestling. No, not wrestling. Vinyl, Wii vinyl, stupid.
Exactly. Can you go a little more on WWE and how you got into not only WWE, we already went over how you went over NASCAR, but can you go over how you went into not only WWE but also the NFL before I close off this recording session?
Okay. Let's start off. Well, NFL, I talked about with the Packers. How again when I was younger, I was a Giants fan, even though I was delusional. But sooner or later, I got into the Packers because of the colors and the jersey and the players and all that such. Wrestling. I got into wrestling because remember when Hurricane Sandy happened? Yeah, we
Yes.
all know what happened at Sandy. Yep. So what happened was my aunt was living here because of that because her house got taken down. So she was living here, and WrestleMania was coming on. It comes on like early, like early spring, so like March, April. And again, I was young, and she wanted to watch it. She wanted to buy the pay-per-view. She did, and she was watching it on our main television in our living room. And I was really close to my aunt, and she was watching she was watching wrestling, and I just sat there and watched it with her. And it was at WrestleMania 29 in 2013 at MetLife Stadium, and I was watching it in the living room with my aunt, and we watched WrestleMania together. And I remember I asked her, and no, she told me, she's like, this is ain't real, right? And I was like, oh, really?
Damn.
Uh, yeah, but she loved it. So when the Undertaker, I don't know if you know who the Undertaker is. I think
do
you
not.
do. I think everyone does. Okay, so Undertaker is this wrestler. I mean, you've probably seen him before. He's been all over the place, but he's called a Dead Man, and he rolls his eyes, and he's like a legendary wrestler or whatever. And he was facing CM Punk, and who's another wrestler, and Undertaker rolled his eyes, and I got scared, so I ran upstairs, and that was it.
You did what?
But since then, yeah, he rolled his eyes like backwards. You know how people could do that. And when I saw that, I was young, and I got scared. I went upstairs. I went to bed. And I just told my aunt, I'm like, I need to go to bed. I'm tired,
Oh
even though I
my.
wasn't. But the main event of that show was The Rock and John Cena too. So, that's how I got into wrestling. And afterwards, I started watching wrestling, and the rest is history. And hopefully in the future, I'll try to be a part of the wrestling business by being a commentator or a writer. That's what my goal is.
I remember that at the end of the interview session that I had you and Jessica on for the '04 documentary, the 500,
Yeah.
with you mentioning that either during or after the interview session. I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Wish you the
Yeah.
best of luck.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't work out, then I'm just gonna be touching grass for my life. I don't know.
Well, do what you can,
But yeah.
keep fighting, and don't let people tell you different, and just keep fighting for your goal and dream. And one day you'll get there. You taking college courses for that, or
There's a school that I'm gonna go to, and then hopefully that would work out.
when you start?
Oh, I didn't apply yet, but my goal is to apply by the end of the year or next year when things get situated, and then I will hopefully go, and then hopefully it works out.
I've got my fingers crossed in that regard, and again, hope everything goes well for you. But I
Yeah,
can't stress
hope
this
hope
enough.
I.
I can't stress this enough. As a college student, study as much and as hard as you can, but don't study too much, though. I don't want you to overwork
Yep,
yourself.
it's not really a college. It's more like a school. Like it's not really like a. It's not like college. Like it's kind of like a public school, but it's like a. I don't know. It's like a course, kind of like vocational type. I'm trying to relate it, but yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to thank everybody who has watched this 3 hour long podcast. If you watched me rambling about how I don't like Denny Hamlin and I think LaJoy should not be in the sport, then I hope you enjoyed it.
A lot of
It
people,
was
I'm
an
sure,
honor.
has enjoyed this.
It was an honor. I'll probably be in a couple other videos, podcasts, or no interviews, or for future projects that he does, and hopefully I'll be a part of it. He probably will tell me to get and call right now, and I'll be like, oh shit. But yeah, we'll probably do that. Subscribe to Turn 4 Productions if you want. Subscribe to my bullshit of a channel. The link will
Winston
probably be in his
BS, but
description. Yeah, actually subscribe because I'm gonna be playing a game that he has forced me to play. So
please
subscribe to Rowdy
do.
TJ.
Please do.
Link in the description of his video. Also, we Turn 4 after this recording will be doing another tier list that will not be the NASCAR pace keys because that shit will take too long, but we will do it some point. We'll upload that on both of our channels for our respective audiences. Well, maybe it can overlap. But yeah, that'll be probably our next video that we'll probably do. That'll probably be in the coming weeks or so.
A part two, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be like when we do that pace scheme tier list, that'll be one video, no part two, because who watches a part two? Unless you're into it. So
Oh,
I don't care if the video is 3 hours long. If we just do a tier list, I don't care. We will be doing it. We don't know when, but we will be doing it. Me and Turn 4 love NASCAR, so we like watching cars go in circles. Yeah,
always happened,
I
always
get
will
bullied
be.
for that.
No one can tell us
Yep.
otherwise.
Yep. So thank you guys for watching this interesting podcast. Turn 4 Sparks Controversy. Yeah, I know the name. Yeah, I'm a fan. Suck it, nerds. And yeah, I'm gonna say one more thing. This is a quote from Jim Cornette. I don't actually mean this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Turn 4, you say your final messages. And I have to try to save my voice and do the other tier list I'll be doing on probably NASCAR tracks. So yeah, bye. Woo.
Regardless, TJ, hope your voice box gets better sooner rather than later. And with that being said, it was great to have you on the podcast and also your documentaries that you were a part of, and we'll do more in future whenever I get around to do so. But until the next one and until the next podcast, TJ, again, it was great to have you on. Looking forward to everyone for the next one, the first of many. And until then,
Yep.
this is Turn 4, signing off the mic as always. And until next time, and for the notice, as I always say, peace out, stay safe, and have a good one.